words of advice. Things like, hey, by the way, the great sword that you use that has a personality that's integral to our quest might not like that you're just backseating him for a Walmart brand sorcerer.
They weren't on speaking terms for a while.
And you're like, and then later you picked up the sword and it dealt damage to you.
Hey, it dealt damage to him the first time he used it too, so maybe it was like an evolution. Too.
Maybe.
To be fair, I mean, Shivram's not necessarily someone you have to like I wouldn't invest too much in that friendship.
No, I mean, yeah. He's definitely like a friend of a friend sort of situation.
Antoria risked his life to save him.
That's because
that was good.
He's
that
a
was good.
literal key to succeeding in our quest, not because you were like, we can't leave Shivram behind.
Right. It's like that one member of like your team that like you don't necessarily get along with really well, but they're really important because they know all the ins and outs of the code base.
Yeah.
So you just sort of have to like tolerate them and do whatever they want.
And stay up until 3 in the morning studying the code base so that they're
Yes, exactly.
Oh
Dude.
no, usually the person's an expert in the area of the code base you don't want to have to memorize or learn about.
Yeah. It's like how Herbie knows all the ins and outs of the D&D system. That's why we keep him around.
Oh, I mean, he is very intelligent.
He is super intelligent.
Yes, I like him a lot.
No, he's great.
He's my friend.
Yeah. Same.
I love you, Herbie. Wow, didn't he literally pick you up from the fucking airport today?
For the 4th time in as many weeks.
Oh!
I hope we're live right now.
Oh, absolutely.
Oh my god.
100%.
Yes.
More than a little salt there.
Well, speaking of Bill, why don't you unveil whatever it is that you have for us, Bill?
Oh no.
One of the gifts I got over Christmas
It's already.
was this mystery treat from Japan.
Okay. How do you feel about it?
I haven't tried it yet, so I don't.
Give us
close up on this awesome character.
Give us your predictions, just based on the packaging.
I predicted Snickers bars.
Yeah, it looks like some kind of nougat, like nutty bar type thing.
Okay, so a lot of nut in our future.
Right. Yeah.
Okay.
Who wants to try one?
Not me.
I'll put literally anything in my mouth.
Yeah, I don't actually eat sweets, but I'll eat Zorax
Squeaky.
nuts all day.
Pink or white?
I'm gonna go
This
with
is
pink.
squeaky here. And does he have access to the quotes? Because otherwise,
Small.
pass
They're tiny.
pass me some of that nut.
Let me toss you one.
They might be very like.
Have a white lane too. Wow, Jesus.
Oh, actually, it's more like caramel.
Oh!
Yeah, that's like.
Oh wow. Yeah, it's
Chewy.
chewy. Put the whole thing in.
Very nice.
I'm sticking the whole thing in my mouth.
Pull up, please don't
Stop.
eat that.
Very character early.
That's pretty good.
Oh,
Not bad.
what a delight! It's very chewy.
I like how small they are.
It's like a little caramel, but with
very
nougat packed in there.
Kind
Oh.
of like a taffy chew almost with nuts.
Well, I'm gonna need one of these every minute for the rest of the campaign. So.
I'll toss some more down.
Oh, heck yeah. That's what I'm about.
Yeah. Did the pink one seem the same?
I think it was a nut.
Thank you,
and
thank you.
caramel.
I think they're the same. Here, I'll leave it here.
They make me think of something in particular. I can't taste it.
Well, they're Mars candy, so I
Well,
mean, they
it
might be
tastes kind of like
similar.
Werther's original.
Oh yeah.
The Werther's coffee candy.
There's a lot of those.
Well, thank you, Bill. Where are these from again?
For one, something good. They're from possibly Disney World. but
Okay.
I'm not sure.
Or possibly a
Tell us
random Asian
more.
market in
Because we also went
Chicago.
to an Asian mega market while I was out there. And
Okay.
My friend went to Disney
Were you
World.
like
I did not go to Disney
hooded and like gagged so that you were not aware of your location?
World. Yeah. So I couldn't tell what was happening.
It's a pretty typical holiday.
That's how
then.
they do it in Japan. I heard.
They have really poor repeat business.
That's
They can never
fix-
find their way back.
Luckily, there's a lot of people in Japan. So the individual, they can still keep it shop.
But a friend picked it up. I think he got it from Disney World, though.
Cool.
I think that's where he got it.
All right. What is? Do we have any idea what the name of this stuff is?
The bag he gave with it said Ice Planet.
Ice Planet.
Yeah.
Okay.
Remember?
And on the back it says mars-candy.com.tw.
My sticker just has
Taiwan.
the wrapper
Yeah.
on mine just has like
Taiwan.
the little condom mascot,
Yeah.
and it just says
He does
yes.
sort of look like a condom angel. With
Yeah.
the little wings.
I think it's from outer space. There's a UFO on the bag. Turn it around, Bill. On the UFO?
Rocket ship.
Oh,
Yeah, the little rocket
he's,
ship.
He's
Oh.
riding that rocket.
He's straddling that
God
rocket.
Damn it.
Well, I mean, the rocket might just be to emphasize that this is a planet we're visiting, a
Okay.
chewy,
Mars-
nougaty
Mars-
ice
Oh,
planet.
the ice
So
planet.
we're eating a
Remember that
planet.
video game, Ice Planet Extreme Condition?
No.
That wasn't what it was called.
Oh.
What was that game called?
Oh.
Dead Space 3.
No, I know what you're talking about.
No,
Lifeline?
The one where part of the mechanic is that there's like you're inside, and when you go outside, there's like you're like on an ice planet. And
There were 3 of them, right?
Yeah, they were all
Yes.
bad.
Not Dead Space.
No,
Lost.
Ice Planet.
Lost Planet.
I think it was Lost Planet.
Lost Planet Extreme Condition.
Yeah.
For
The guy had a beard.
the DLC to Lifeline.
Yeah, it was a Capcom game, wasn't it?
Fuck if I know, I didn't play it.
Yeah, it was
Oh.
Capcom.
I didn't play it either.
Okay.
It was Capcom for sure.
Jeez. Cool.
I also got this beautiful shirt.
That's a good
Oh,
shirt.
Oh.
3 pug sky. Oh,
4.
there's like 5
There's a bunch
pugs.
of pugs.
Oh my god.
Invisipug.
The twinkle in his eye.
Aw.
I know.
As he gazes upon the heavens.
Sweet pugs.
Delightful.
You're just covered in pug.
Well, Rachel, what presents did you bring?
My wonderful presents.
Right. What are they?
My dazzling smile, my witty personality.
You say Woody?
Okay. Well,
Woody
someone
personality?
I'm leaving.
someone get the hood in the bag because you're going to Disney World, if you know what I mean.
That's never taken me to Disney World before.
Spectacular. Well, welcome back, friends. Welcome to 20 Serpentine. We're here to play some Dungeons and Dragons. Can someone give us just sort of a recap of what's going on? What's happening?
Yeah, so a man named Gary Gygax first invented.
Have you been prepping that for the past couple of
Just
weeks?
the writer's strike
He's been saying
episode.
memorize.
We're just gonna do the whole thing.
Oh, we should totally do one of those where it's just like a completely like different Brendan just sitting here like, and I guess.
Well, the best part is we don't even have to be here and just edit like the
Yeah,
other
you can do
episodes
review
together to a
footage.
memory flashback.
Oh,
There's
man.
gonna be like,
Oh no! We could do a bottle episode certainly. I was
do you
talking
remember
about
that
like.
time, and then you just hit play on the playlist, and we all go get pizza?
That'd be good. That'd be good. Here, let me pass these mini archers
Our
over.
new
Oh, new
miniatures.
Yeah.
Mini archers.
Look there.
Nice. I'm gonna have to get used to my new color scheme.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm
Now
so
everybody's
short.
gonna.
It's
We're gonna have a
great.
TPK now.
I know.
Oh, that's
No way. It's it's a new year and there's new expansions. So they've updated all the character models.
Beautiful.
But
Which-
did all the viewers purchase the DLC for this?
Well, they can see the new art on the stream, so hopefully they are appreciative of the higher pixel count. Anyway, does someone who's not a smartass want to tell us what on earth is going on?
The city blew up. We kind of fucked up the city and the
we
city
didn't.
sales.
We didn't
wasn't
fuck
our
the city.
fault. We had
No,
nothing
we
to do
did
with it
not
this
fuck
time.
up the
Why
city.
is it every single time you guys fuck up a city? The resounding cry is we didn't do it.
No, Kate was very clear this time. He's like looking down at the fucking travesty. This wasn't our fault.
Trust
Actually,
me, it's all for a good reason.
you know,
Yeah.
it was our fault, kind of.
No, Yarnith was here before we were.
Because Yarnith only came here because we had the crown there.
No, he was here before we were. He was in this boat race thing before we ever showed up. They were already the talk of the town by the time we got here.
That's true.
Yep.
So,
Maybe he was going to use his wish to find out where we were.
He can cast wish himself.
Maybe Yarneth just loves boat races.
I mean, yeah, he might be just a hobbyist.
Absolutely.
Anyway, so we were meeting.
You'll have to ask him next time he shows up.
Yeah. Next episode.
so we were gonna try and get the help of the wonderfully elected leader
Androponis.
of Androponis. Yes, the first citizen Androponis, the great and glorious person who I voted for, who ignored me,
Typical.
which really hurt
democracy.
Cassius' heart.
He was kind of busy in his
It was a
It
nice
was a bit
party.
busy,
It
yeah.
was a lovely
It was a
party.
lovely party.
We had a lot
I
of
probably would
fun.
have been.
She
And
stuffed
then-
snakes.
Then the Tarask decided to try and eat everyone. We dispatched Yarnith pretty quickly and easily.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're
Once
welcome.
easily.
Thanks, Hamanu.
Yeah.
Thanks,
Yarnith,
Counter
Yarnith-
Spells.
And Roxy.
yeah. Yarnith
Yeah, that
and
was
his
fun.
brass. No, they
Dial
crashed the
back and
party.
see what those numbers were like last
And we
session.
dispatched them.
The
Well,
worst part was that Androponis shapeshifted into a giant thing to fight the Tarask.
A
And
nightmare
they-
beast.
They broke the pillar. We also learned
Yeah.
what happens
Remember
when
you
you
were
break
like-
a pillar.
I hope they don't break the pillar. And like, Crash the pillar in the background.
Behind Cassia, as she's saying this, giant blue flames billow forth and the whole city is destroyed. So we're on a boat now. We've got, I'm blanking, Tiberius.
Tiberius is there.
Yes,
What's up, Kashmir?
We're going to get
Casimir is there, yes.
Somehow we saved Kashmir.
No,
We're getting the hell out.
We got what we were here for.
Yeah,
Or
we are
rather,
getting the hell out.
There's no longer anything there for us.
At the expense of everything else, you got what you came for.
Well, we didn't even, is the thing.
We stopped the pillar from falling into the wrong hands.
Yeah, by doing worse to it than they would have.
We don't even know what the long-term implications of destroying a pillar is, but this is the thing. I promise that it's not like, oh, we should have just been breaking these the whole time.
No, it definitely
Brendan's not going to teach us that lesson. That we're going to smashing it.
Well, no,
All right.
remember, the thing is,
Now every city has its level cap raised. Time to go back.
They send energy to the Dust Kraken. If the pillar's destroyed, he's not getting munchies from that one anymore. That, at the very least, is a not good thing.
We did discover that there are 2 primary junction points which are responsible for main flows of energy, and a large number of secondary pillars which just sort of, if I remember right, collect from the surrounding region. So this was one of the collectors. This was not one of the main points. I think we can lose a few of the miners without necessarily the big problem.
Yeah.
But those 2 critical ones, I don't know how much failsafe there is in that.
Yeah.
I wouldn't want to lose one, and if we lose both, that's definitely game over world.
Yeah.
Yes.
I mean, if video games have taught me anything, it's that regardless of what we do, we have to fight the Dust Kraken in the end. Like, anytime they're like, do the 8 things to stop Y, like, Y is gonna happen. You'll do the 8 things, and then Y will happen, and you'll have to deal with it.
I mean, you could like convince it to stand down.
Yeah.
If you like
use
max
social skills.
Yeah, exactly.
Diplomatic solution.
You like Fallout where you convince it to destroy itself.
I mean, or you could like, if you're really interested, invest in the crafting system, and just be like, look, here's this sweet belt.
Yeah, made you a
and then
really
the Kraken
good
is like, it just goes back to sleep.
Yeah.
Fine, you can have another millennia.
Yeah.
See you in 3017.
Does it just like wear the belt like a ring? One of its
Yes, exactly. 4 strength, 4 stam.
Or does the belt grow to be big enough for him to?
Yes, absolutely.
It's a quality belt, yeah.
So I believe we were shipping off.
Literally.
I think we're gonna figure out where to go next, right?
Oh no, we had a destination in mind, but we have to get there. So I think we were setting out on the Silt Sea with our new companions, heading towards.
Yeah, where are you headed?
We're headed towards the dock. Just.
Oh, would you
south of
rotate?
Raam.
Would you mind rotating the map that away so that the so that it's
This way?
facing Lobos? Unfortunately.
Oh, other way.
Yep.
Perfect.
Clockwise.
Did you get us some boat music? We have like our.
I was
we have a travel.
I was busy. Yes. No. You know what? The answer is yes.
That's what I thought.
Yeah.
This is the Final Fantasy IV boat
I'm on a
theme.
boat.
I was thinking about it.
Yeah. Yeah, you could do I'm on a boat.
Yeah.
Don't you ever forget.
I might get flagged.
I would prefer that not to happen anyway.
Oh yeah. Also, to refresh your stream, everyone on the boat is our party. And
Yes.
Tiberius and the other guy whose name I'm forgetting.
Casimir.
Cashmere. Yes.
Casimir. Cazmir. Casimir.
But I like calling him
Not
Cashmere because he's so soft and fluffy and just a sweet little guy.
Wow.
He's all
It's
spiky.
true.
We'll see what happens to him.
I'm a
he's
delight.
He's covered in spikes.
Yeah, is he still spiky? Is he still spiky?
Yeah.
He's got some sweet power armor.
Yeah, I think we literally left like with us leaving the dock. So unless there's time skip, presumably we're.
I have no reason to ask for a time skip from you guys, so I think it's perfectly reasonable to say that we can just pick up right from where you guys were heading out. So maybe like a good 20 or 30 minutes have passed since you've departed from the harbor of
Fire.
And then 20 minutes, we were just
of the
like
city of
this same
sails.
thing. We were just like flailing our arms for like 20 minutes.
No, you were being commanded
true.
so you could sail the dang boats.
As we were leaving, Antoria asked Tanner to basically just fly over the city and remain in scout mode for a while. He won't be able to report back at that distance, but he can be summoned back later.
Yeah, that's fair.
Alright, so Tanger stays behind, flying above the city, trying to see what's happening with the Sorcerer King, the Tarask, and the city itself.
Sure.
Kate will be at the wheel, just glowering until we get some space and some time.
As Cade do. Well, I guess Zora's gonna finish dressing everyone's wounds.
Yeah. Marcus got fucked.
Oh,
Yeah,
yeah.
but he completely like replaced my leg, so I'm good.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
I did.
You've now
Good
got
as new.
like you've got like a little tiny Marcus now.
You got like a little baby leg. It's like Deadpool. It has to grow full size.
It's disgusting. I hate that. I hate this channel.
Do you though?
No. Yeah, Kate got pretty bashed up too, I believe. So he'll probably need some healing too.
Actually, you know what? I'll just heal you up to. I got another part of healing, so I'll do that. So you can heal up to. Oh, no. Never mind. Can't do that.
So, question about Silk Sailing.
Yeah.
Do we hit a point where we're like, the boat's on the path, and we can socialize
Yes.
on the boat? Oh,
yes.
good.
You can absolutely do that.
Good.
We're not in a race this time
Yeah.
with a bunch of other boats
Yeah.
around.
Yeah, unless you're
Otherwise, the next few weeks are going to be real boring.
no.
Succession
Much like real sailing.
Yeah. I hate that.
Well, no, you guys are certainly free to move around and socialize. You're not really on a path right now. You're just trying to get the fuck out of Dodge.
Yeah. Yeah, once we... Kate will hang out just like at the wheel for a little bit longer than necessary, just sort of like rooting. But after a little bit, he'll let it go.
This is way too upbeat.
I say, you realize that we just lost an encounter, right? It's not like
I just healed everyone from
This is-
26 HP. So.
this isn't fucking
Just in case
Star
something
Tropics. God damn it! I cannot fucking. I've dropped my dice 4 times since I got here,
Well,
Get a hold of yourself.
and like
yeah,
I'm
seriously.
Or get a hold of your dice.
only slightly more drunk than usual.
Well,
That was fun.
But yeah, so
Here,
Kate,
this is more mood appropriate.
I know. This is-
Kate will sort of stroll onto the deck.
Oh, God.
Yep. The
Get
world
your
is
shit
ruined.
together, everyone.
Oh, no.
Isn't
contagious.
this just like Athos's theme?
It should be, yeah.
And as he sort of steps out, he'll be like, Antoria, what was that thing?
Arcane check.
Sure.
Antoria actually never made one himself.
Oh, I
Cassian
actually did know exactly
No,
what
you
it was.
did, but
Like, I got a 30 on it.
yeah,
That's
yeah.
true.
But he didn't ask you.
No.
21.
21, you're not familiar with anything of that sort.
Never seen anything like it or even heard of it. What did you say it was?
It's the Tarask. It's a legendary monster. There's only ever one of them at a time. It's immensely powerful.
Well, that's for certain.
Even a sorcerer king apparently can't stand up to it evenly. What else do I know about it?
So you've never actually heard of like one like appearing. It's sort of a boogeyman. It's
So
something.
was the dragon.
Well, no.
he's-
Yeah. That's fair. But I mean, like the dragon is kind of the boogeyman in the way that like Satan is the boogeyman in our world, where like many millions of people believe in him.
Right.
Because he shows up to your city and steals thousands of people.
Yeah, actually, yeah. He has
Just
a very-
like Satan, the great enemy, does in our world.
Yeah.
This one weird.
Let me tell you a little bit about.
Satan.
So about some cult stuff.
Actually, Casimir will pipe up a little bit. He calls it the Beast. It's a product of terrifying experimentation. Terrifyingly old, terrifyingly intelligent. I don't know what could stop it once it starts moving.
How the hell did
Yarnith.
Yarnith
Yeah.
control this beast?
Control! Oh, no. More of a,
Partnership.
Partnership is an excellent
What is
term.
he offering a creature like that?
Feed on the most powerful. Freedom.
He wants to use it to destroy the sorcerer king.
Well, Yarnath's, well, as much a servant as I am, or was. I suppose thank you is appropriate, although I'm sure he's well aware that that little spell is now no longer on me.
So it was the
Who is
Tarask
he?
that had you under its command, not Yarnith.
No. All of us sent. Part of the scheme.
From who?
The Dread King. The lurker in the shadows. The ruler in the dark, Dragoth.
Dragoth.
He's dead.
Oh, yes.
All of us heard of Dragoth? I don't know.
Have I ever heard of Dragon?
I've heard of him.
Yeah.
Somebody mentioned him once.
So Marcus and Antoria and Cade almost certainly have heard of Dragoth. You can give me a history check if you want, Cassia and Zorak.
I got a 16.
16, you have not heard of Dragoth.
25.
25, Dragoth is the name of a dead sorcerer king
Oh,
who
yeah.
supposedly died thousands and thousands of years ago. But aside from that, you know nothing else about him.
Who's this Dragoth that he speaks of?
Long dead sorcerer king.
I wonder. Dead
Oh.
ones usually don't give orders.
Didn't we already run into one that was supposed to be dead as well?
That one was still dead, or at least mostly dead.
Yeah.
He certainly wasn't giving orders.
You
Drink.
said,
Oh,
about
I did
this
run into the
sphere.
ghost of a sorcerer queen once. She was quite lively.
The sphere you're having me hold, you mentioned that was related to bringing one back.
Not this one.
Not this one.
That's a different artifact that we carry in our possession.
That's related to the mostly dead one we mentioned.
Well,
Oh!
if you've dealt with sorcerer kings before, you will know that they cling to their power above all else, even beyond the grave, if they are able. Dragoth was incredibly powerful. The other sorcerer kings grew wary of his power, joined together to murder him in his very palace, and destroyed his city. Or so I hear, anyway.
Sounds like the usual thing that happens in
Indeed.
those cases.
Indeed.
So then, what do you know of the Far Heralds, and what do they have to do with this?
I never heard the word before. Not before you guys interrogated me.
Great.
Interesting.
Enemies on both sides then.
Have you ever met with Dragoth?
Met is, I mean, if you count being surrounded by shadow and screamed at in your brain. Yes! It was unpleasant.
What did he want anyway, besides the artifacts?
Sorry?
What did he want besides the artifacts, presumably?
Oh, the world. He wants revenge against the kings that slaughtered him all those years ago, confining him to the darkness beneath his city.
Lovely.
He's been stewing.
He has such a sense of timing, he does. I wonder about that, too. Why is he acting now? I mean, he's been dead for centuries.
Well, I assume that Yarnath's been gathering his forces and stuff to help.
I am not privy to all of his plans. Simply, well, from what I gather, he's been planning these sorts of things for a long, long time. Of course, what else would you have the time to do, being an immortal king under the ground, lurking in the darkness, conducting experiments, creating those weird scaly things? Ugh, they're gross!
Yes.
So then it was Dragoth that created Tarask, not Yarnath.
Yes, most certainly. Yarnath!
As well as
Makes more
likely
sense.
those, pseudo-Dre that we've encountered who are hunting his mask.
Here's another question then. Who else knows about the crown? Because Yarnath mentioned it. That might be part of the problem.
What of it? I
Who
mean,
else knows about it?
it's probably fairly well known in Flurn circles at this point. The Veiled Alliance knew of it, certainly.
It would be nice to keep that a little more in the wraps.
It's hard to ask them to defend something and not tell them what it is or why.
Fair enough.
Did Dragoth provide you with the equipment that you're using?
Oh, no, I made this.
Of yourself, Kashmir.
Ugh. I am...
Who are you?
I am Casimir.
If you do not talk straight with me, I'll fling you into this list.
This is incredibly straight. I am an appreciator of this world. I studied it, you might say. It was not an official capacity. It was just, it's fascinating. It's all... Well, it's terrible. I mean, look at this place. We're just...
Look out over this, just like silt and everything.
We all live here.
That's just it. In such a place where everyone by rights should just lay down and die, to just agree to just let it disappear. People just continue struggling on. People continue giving birth to new generations and toiling and striving and hoping that there's some sort of meaning, some greater purpose to it.
You act like you've seen another way.
Well, I've
giving him a funny look too as he started talking like that.
Very different in other places.
Where are you other places?
Fine. I will tell you. I am from another world. Yes, it's true. I was, well, I'm from this place. You'd have a difficult time pronouncing it. But I was a student of distant worlds, of various spheres of existence. I was fascinated with Athos and determined to make a greater study of it. As difficult as it was, your world exists in shroud and shadow of its own that makes study, analysis, even just observation very difficult. And, well, truth be told, my grades weren't very good, and I was kicked out of school. But I continue. They are an evaluation. It's like a kindergarten, but different. But I continued on my own. I was desperate. I wanted to find some way to discover the secrets of this world. In doing so, I heard a call, a voice from Athos, desperate, trying to find someone on the outside, someone like me. Made contact. I opened a portal. I was pulled through, only to discover too late that my pen pal was none other than the Dread King himself, looking for another place, a way to escape from this world.
I wonder. I might be able to send you home. I say might because, frankly, I have no idea where you're from, but I have managed to return other things where they belong before.
There's a lot of knowledge about the enemies we're dealing with.
Well, I didn't say right this moment.
Oh,
Past that,
he's already like halfway done putting together a suitcase.
that sounds incredibly risky. If Athos is closed off, as he suggests.
Well, that would have to be Casimir's decision as far as the risk he's willing to take to return home.
Indeed.
Well, let me think on it.
As you will.
At least, at present, we don't seem to be in immediate mortal danger. Just
I won't be able to
casual or mortal danger.
Yes.
I won't necessarily be able to do it on a whim, you understand. If you wait until we're in the middle of a fight.
Excellent point.
I was about to say, we get in a fight, he's just claiming.
If I drop to 1 hit point, please banish me.
And given what you've said about the nature of where you came from and the difficulty getting here, I mean, I don't know if I can replicate what a sorcerer king did, but it's worth a shot.
Yes, indeed. Although, I must admit, part of me is absolutely delighted to be on such an adventure. Never would have imagined I'd be in this place, this wonderful place. It's like a dream.
The thing that you have to understand, Kashmir, is that this place is not wonderful.
No, certainly not. It's more of like a extreme vacation.
Yes, well, what I mean is that
Picking your own berries and such.
we very well may, within an hour, be assaulted by a tentacled silk horror, and all be
Exactly!
guts and flayed alive in the silk. It's not a game. And
Why
it's
did
not
Dragoth
fun.
want someone from the outside anyway?
Well, I suspect they weren't. He wasn't looking for Kashmir specifically.
Why anyone?
He said to escape this world, correct?
He said something to that effect in the midst of one of my many interrogations. He's very angry, as I imagine you would be if all of your friends ganged up on you and killed you, and then destroyed your city.
Pissed.
No, he's probably forgotten about it by now.
He's having a drinking contest with the dragon.
Yeah.
He's winning.
Oh, how can this be?
I am a 54 con score, damn it!
Aha.
It's tricks again.
No, believe me, I understand. And I mean not to get in your way or make any foolhardy or irresponsible things that further endanger your lives, but for the time being, just being able to observe is such a delight. A once-in-a-lifetime opportunity. Maybe several lifetimes.
Well, understand that in the midst of battle, we won't be able to protect you.
No, that's fair. This
Right.
get up, as it were, not only preserves my life in this strange and hostile environment, but it enables a certain degree of self-defense capabilities.
Yes, I'm familiar with what armor is.
Oh, no. Yes. I understand the misconception. Hang on. And he grabs at his, weird skull helmet and pulls it off. And what's underneath it is another smaller helmet. Sort of a...
Keeps going.
Matryoshka dolls.
No, underneath he's got some sort of a weird bubble helmet that seems to be made of some kind of a transparent material, but it's sort of weird and foggy inside. You could sort of make out a pair of eyes. It's kind of like the what's the Mass Effect race?
Yeah.
Yeah. The ones that suck.
Yeah. The engineers.
Yes.
Quarians.
Quarians, that's it. Yes.
Engineers.
Yes, it's a little bit like the Quarians. Yes. See, it's the latest thing. I may have pilfered one in my preparations for a journey to a strange and hostile environment.
So you didn't create that.
Oh no! No, I can barely create an omelet.
So, I guess, I suppose to elaborate on that question, what I'm really trying to ask is, aside from your scholarly knowledge of our ruinous
Which is
world,
extensive!
granted, do you have any functional skills that we should know of?
Yes, I see what you mean. You're wondering whether or not it's worth your while to keep me around.
Always.
Yes.
Well...
Nope. Jumps.
Well, as a matter of fact, I may indeed be able to help you.
You'll have to elaborate.
Yes. For you see, I don't know how to make things of this sort, but I am familiar with this, how you say, technology. He does way too many, quotey hands.
Oh, like the pillar?
And I understand you may have a certain interest in this technology which may be here in your world.
Why are your hands flapping?
Well,
Were you trying to cast some sort of mind influencing spell?
No.
No.
That's all I can think of when you see weird gestures and
Right,
words that barely make sense.
Kashmir, we're out in the Silt Sea. You can just talk straight with us. What do you mean? I don't know what technomancy is.
so extra planar creature talking about strange things that aren't quite magic that we have here. It sounds like it's talking about the ruins that we were exploring.
Do
Do you know? Yes. Do you know about the pillars and the setup created for the Dust Kraken?
I may indeed.
May is not a perfect.
Yes, I know.
What do you know?
Well, hang on, I just had a bite of this. It's delicious.
Understandable. Well, creme and caramel.
Because I have many questions.
Your produce alone has been worth the trip.
He's actually just eating Tanger.
Oh. And you're scouting.
Yeah.
That's true.
He's eating a little buddy.
No! Little buddy.
Reassemble himself in the stomach.
The pillars, as you call them, are a conduit, a way of keeping that horrible, horrible extra-dimensional thing that has ruined this world imprisoned.
Yes, we're aware of that much.
Set up by travelers, much like myself, in the great
Yes.
history of this world.
And what is it that they can do?
You realize you're laughing at a half giant with a very, very heavy club.
Who told a joke?
It was a good joke. It was pretty good.
Nice save.
Ugh.
They can't do it.
So funny. So strong. Just as I predicted. Well, magic, as I'm sure you're aware, is a complicated thing in this world. You must pull it from nature, but then use it to conjure things from beyond, from the astral bits. The thing of it is, feeding the Kraken will keep it imprisoned, but it will also keep it hungry. As long as it feels there is something here to eat, it will continue to devour, and devour, and devour. It will certainly not leave of its own accord until there is nothing left. The pillars are...
It's me at a buffet.
Sorry?
It's me at a buffet. Sir! Sir!
Bring me a bedpan, please. I'm not leaving.
You can hear the fryers are still on.
The pillars are, yes, a prison. But they are a prison intended to keep the Kraken here and alive.
How would we get rid of this Kraken? And for that matter, is there even a way to restore the world?
I mean...
You seem to know quite a lot about these things.
Oh, I'm flattered that you think so.
No one's ever said that about me before.
No, never.
Well, I have another question. You may not know this, but were we tricked into being the Kraken's new prison?
Well, I couldn't tell you that. Tell me maybe a little bit more about what it is that you've been doing. I know that you've been off and looking for pillars, but as to why or to what end...
We've been trying to secure them so that they continue feeding the Kraken against a group that has been trying to disrupt that effort to awaken him.
Well...
I can see the sense of what you're saying, that having him imprisoned here and staying here for however long is bad, but having him awake and be cranky and hungry seems to be worse.
Yes, indeed. Although, if it's anything like the sorts of creatures that I'm familiar with, getting rid of it would require awakening it.
Doing that at the right moment when we're ready to get rid of it would probably be better than just having it happen at some random point determined by a cult of crazy people.
Just so, just so. Man, I'm glad you guys captured me and not them.
Yes.
I feel much safer.
They actually
Yes,
got...
we're doing the right thing.
Actually, Zor will describe the fire elves and the robes they wear and say, have you ever seen these people anywhere? You said you hadn't heard of them. But have you seen them with
There was
big
one
eyes?
hanging from a gibbet in Balic. Balic, rather.
Actually, I do remember catching word of one being escorted to the city prisons. I believe there was one that tried to invade the city and was captured, interrogated, and then torn into pieces.
That's the way to do it.
Seems like
I mean,
You mentioned...
I couldn't do that.
Well,
But I would gladly have someone else do it.
that would be me.
Deal! Too soon. Yes, thank you. You drive a soft bargain.
You seem to have a familiarity with what you said, these...
You are a delight, by the way.
I am?
So many more of your kin just want to eat me.
Yes, I'm not hungry.
Jumps overboard.
You mentioned a familiarity with these creatures, like plural, so there's more than one dust crack then.
Well,
So-
not necessarily here, but...
But like in the multiverse, in the idea of the multiple planes, like where you're from.
The Dust Kraken undoubtedly came from somewhere where there are literally hundreds of thousands of those, and they are as like ants to us. The world is vast and infinite, and I don't want to go to that place.
No, but that does sound like where we want to send it. I was having a concern that we don't just take terrible creatures like this and throw them into other dimensions, because then another dimension has to deal with it and they can throw their garbage to us.
That is a terribly responsible attitude to take, and I salute you for it.
I would
But
think
if we
if
send this home,
the Sorcerer Kings could have, they would have.
they
already.
may not have known to.
That, I find
They
it hard
knew
to
it-
believe.
They knew the whole thing about the pillars, supposedly.
And they're quite powerful too.
I mean, they've been guarding the things.
Some of their power may have come from the world being thrown into this state. They are sitting on top of, even if it's not a great place, on top.
I don't know.
There can be vested interests.
They don't want to wake it up, that's for certain. Not the way that the Farhelds are planning.
Oh,
on
certainly
it.
not.
Save perhaps one of them.
True.
On that, we'll have to investigate.
What that used to be anyway, apparently.
Well, not Dragoff.
Dragoff doesn't sound like he's interested in that so much as just an inconvenient bit of timing that he decided now was the time to take revenge.
He wanted the crown that controls it.
That was Yarna.
Yarnath has wanted the crown from the beginning, possibly for that reason.
Oh, that's
but
right.
If Yarnath was working for Dragoff, which it sounds
why
like
did he
was.
want the crown anyway? Did you know?
Yarnath, believe it or not, wouldn't talk to me a whole lot. He showed up very recently. Some other of Dragoth's agents retrieved him from some floating place.
So that's how I got free.
It's very impressive, really. Just sort of gross and terrible.
What happened to the floating place?
I couldn't tell you. You've heard literally as much of it as I've heard.
Fair enough. Lovely.
The perfect sort of pair for the Tarask, actually. Or the Beast, as we call it. It doesn't like dead material. That's why it hasn't turned on Dragoth.
I see.
Well, one last question for
Ooh.
me at least, and then I should get some rest, but I'll get that hourglass that Bo gave me out of my pocket. Like, this was given to me, and we've studied it through magical means, and it seems to be nothing but a trinket. Do you know anything about it? Pass it on.
No.
Wonderful, thank you, Bo.
My name's Casimir. But you're welcome just the same.
Well,
Perhaps we should reconvene later and rest a bit. It has been a long, long day.
Yes.
Agreed.
Agreed indeed.
how long has it been since we left Balic now?
Maybe an hour, hour and a half.
Alright, I'm not gonna call Tanger back just yet then.
Tiberius calls over from the helm. Do we got a particular destination in mind here?
North to south of Raam, I don't remember the name.
What was the port that's nearest
Oh, yeah.
Raam? It's not actually on the map as far as I can tell, but
That
we...
map. Yeah, there was another map that had the.
One
Yeah.
of the 7 dark sub maps you have in this room.
There's definitely something there.
Fair enough. Is it porty or like,
Hang on.
or like the Dragon's summer home?
Probably a
I don't want to go there.
We could
Summer.
It was, yeah.
Look at the dragon.
it's called High Sun.
Seasons are illegal.
Yeah.
Dark sub.
There was a location that we had pinpointed on the map of that we've had for a long time.
We've had a couple of those.
Yes, but our immediate destination is wrong.
What was in Rom again?
We figured out where a few pillars
We
were.
have
Rom is
some
the best.
allies there that need that we need to make contact with. And
Oh.
from there, our destination lies past
For one thing, it'll let us get rid of that damn mask.
Breakshore? Is that where you guys are going?
If it's a port that's kind of nearest to Raam.
basically the closest.
It's pretty close.
Yeah, that's probably it then.
Yeah. We'll call it Breakshore.
Okay.
And then we still had other pressing issues. We still had a trip to make on your own.
Yes.
We're
Antoria
going to
has
have to
something
talk about that later.
he has to deal with,
I need more information.
but the rest of us are headed northeast past Drage to the outlands beyond the Tablelands.
Okay, so you guys settle in for a rest?
Is it reasonable for all of us to rest at once, or we gotta have?
No, you guys, I mean, it's not like sumptuous, but you guys can cram into the indoor areas. Settle down.
Yeah.
Fair enough. Toria's gonna switch out one of his spells for the sending spell.
Okay.
The spell he will switch out.
You need this for a lich.
No.
Well, that's my smite.
Yeah.
I already have that.
That's apparently a paladin spell.
Yeah.
We got that covered.
How much do you heal when you're asleep? Or actually, did you have any?
If you do a long rest-
I can burn.
I assume that, yeah, I would guess that he can
But you heal your d8s.
Oh, that'll put me at full anyways.
Yeah.
Yeah, he will ditch Auto's irresistible dance
Okay.
temporarily for sending.
Yeah, okay. So if I heal at least 12, I'm full.
Yeah. Maybe I need a quick refresher. What do you heal when you rest?
If it's a long rest, everything except the only thing you don't heal to max is your healing surges, but no one ever uses those.
Pretty much.
Not since we have 3.5 healers anymore, anyway.
What are healing searches?
You can use them during a short rest to recover hit points without the aid of magic.
Oh.
They come in handy if you're in one of those parties like we used to be for a long time that had very limited. Or
I
no
was the
healing.
healer.
Yeah.
Good.
Lay on
Lay on
hands.
hands for 30 and cure light wounds for 1d8.
You're a good healer.
Yeah.
You got us through.
Yeah. Mostly
You're
my,
at a much smaller level.
lower level. My healing was still real bad. Mostly I served to kill the enemies before they could deal damage to us.
My favorite kind of healing.
A lot of our healing too was at times polymorph tanking by the user. It's like, hey, these hit points don't count. Sure.
Beer tank.
The animal tanking from the druid didn't work out so well as I recall.
Oh shit.
Oh.
That was by himself. When you're the only tank
Yeah,
in
yeah.
the party,
You can't tank alone.
and you're the only one in the party.
He came very close to surviving that digestive tract.
He did.
I wish he'd survived the initial bite, then I could have polymorphed into a T-Rex and been done with it. But you can't polymorph unconscious things, or you can, it doesn't do any good. Oh, I just have a bigger chicken nugget. No.
Yeah.
Okay, so you guys rouse
Yeah.
7 or 8 hours later.
Yeah. Kane will be really unsettled. Not in like the way he's been, but just
Not
like,
nervous.
Oh, a new,
new sort of-
terrific unsettled
Yeah.
Cade.
No, he's just sort of brooding right now.
Instead of sleeping all the way, Zora's gonna, help keep watch, help keep the book going.
That's fair.
Keep an eye on Casimir.
Yeah, Cassie's going to have a lot of questions for Casimir and probably be very interested in talking to him because he has information and knowledge that she would have had no access to. Like, oh, there's an entire other world you can tell me about.
Sure.
Oh, what do you know about extra-dimensional communication and travel? And
Nothing!
that's what you did it. You literally, that's the thing that you've done.
It was sort of an accident.
How do
There
you...
was more done to him, I
It's
think.
true. I was kidnapped against my will.
Doesn't make him an expert on
I mean, I did like
physics.
Well, he might know a little bit about black magic.
And actually
going
asked
over
for
your
it to
face.
happen.
That's
Yep.
amazing. But you mentioned being able to even monitor other worlds. Do you have any idea how that worked? How you guys were...
Oh, that's easy. I look into the little device, and it shows me the far-off place.
Sounds like he used an artifact of some sort to aid him. It doesn't imply any knowledge of how it actually worked.
It was shiny.
Sounds like whatever.
Cassius' heart is breaking very loudly right now.
Thanks for joining my D&D game.
Speaking of information, it's probably time I called Tanger back and see what he observed
Yes.
during his vigil. So Antoria will use an action to banish Tanger to another dimension temporarily, and then use an action to recall him.
Okay.
The first one oddly doesn't have a range, which is why this works.
That's baffling.
Yeah, you have to recall him to a point within 30 feet, but you can banish him wherever in the world.
This seems
he is.
terribly meta, but that's okay. It's totally appropriate for Antoria.
So, yeah, is something meta from Kirby?
Yeah. No, it's fine. It's fine.
So Tanger, presuming he's alive.
He is still alive, yes.
Alright, and I guess through him and mental communication, what did he learn from watching the past few hours in Balic?
I mean, it's a little bit of a mess. There's a lot of fire. The whole city isn't destroyed, but it's certainly a lot more chaotic than it had been. The most damage has been done to the palace, since that's what was so close to the pillar. The fate of the beast and the king are unclear.
Unfortunate. That was the main thing we were hoping to learn, but given what was going on, and the fault is certainly not yours, Tanger. Thank you for what you did observe.
What are we going to do against that thing?
Well, there is another way we might be able to figure out who won. I could always try speaking with First Citizen Adrophinus.
Do you think enough time has passed?
The combat didn't seem to be actively continuing at 8 hours in, or did it?
No, there wasn't like an obvious like kaiju battle like going on at the time that he left.
Okay. It's been 8 hours. I have to assume that very likely he either prevailed over the beast, or, as impossible as it is to imagine, that he did not. One way or another, it's very important, I think, that we find out who won that little battle. If the Trask is still alive, he's still our problem. If Androphinus did manage to defeat him, hopefully it'll be some time before Dragoth can make another.
or they just had a standoff and neither won. Also
Even-
possible.
But Andropodus would know, and he wanted us to work with him, so maybe sending a quick message to him, hey buddy, hope you're alright.
Wish you were here.
I voted for you.
It's not something I propose lightly, and sending messages to the next thing closest to a god is not exactly a thing I like doing.
Hey, how are you?
But I suppose what I'm also saying is Kate is also right. We'll need to figure out what we're going to do if we ever encounter that creature again.
Yeah.
We'll have some work to do on that angle as well, but at any rate, we should find out who won that battle, and this is the only way I know of to get information. Or, alternatively, I could try contacting one of those idiots in the...
I would advise against that. They're kind of dickwagons. Honestly, I made light, but I think that's sending a message to Andropodus sounds appropriate.
How profane.
How long have you been here?
I'm not a math guy.
You're not any kind of guy, are you?
He's stylish.
I
With a little...
am an explorer!
He can tell us a lot of conceptual things about the world that we already live in.
Yes.
Anyway.
Well,
There's actually something else you may want to do if you think it's necessary. And once I find out what I can from this attempt, Lord Hamanu might be interested in knowing about it.
Yeah.
I don't know what his
Number
sources, I don't know what his sources are like, but I suspect you can get his ear if...
Yes. Well, regardless, he should know about what's going on with Dragoth and his intentions and nothing else.
Agreed. But I'll make this attempt first so that we have as complete a picture as possible.
Yes.
you're trying to reach Lord Hamanu. Currently here. Please leave a message after the beep.
It's just 1-800 the Lion.
Yes. I mean, yes, it is.
Yeah, that's exactly that works.
Alright.
You ain't lying about that.
Telephones are
Great
illegal.
trepidation and stealing himself for all sorts of possible horrifying consequences. Antoria will try casting Sending to contact First Citizen Andropodus.
Cassia discreetly gives about 10 feet radius around him. As
The ship is probably...
That's fair.
This doesn't work.
Where's my player's handbook?
No, the ship's actually pretty big.
I'll turn it to the spell if that's what you're looking for.
Yeah.
He means that if there's backlash, the ship's gonna be gone.
Yeah, no, it's...
Probably not just gonna like
Sending
flick
it is
Antoria.
this page right about where my thumb is.
Thank you.
Alright. So I get to send a relatively short, specific message. Not quite as short as message. I think it's, if I remember right, a couple dozen words or so.
Okay.
As Antoria says, he concentrates and thinks to First Citizen. First Citizen Andropodus, I hope you are well. Please respond if you are able.
Sorry
Thank
that
you.
we left your party while you were dying.
Okay.
Love, Squad of Truth.
Okay, so you are able to send the message, but you hear no reply.
Okay, and Arcana check to decipher what exactly that means.
Yeah, that's
Either
fair.
he's dead or in another dimension.
Well, you wouldn't be able to send it if he was
He can
dead.
choose not to reply.
13.
13, you're not sure.
Cassia knows that it means he's either dead or in another dimension. Because she literally went through this recently.
Give me an Arcana check.
Oh.
But he wouldn't be able to
They
send
can choose
it.
not to reply, I'm pretty sure.
No, he definitely can.
Arcana is 21.
21. Are you describing the results
Yeah, you just
to Cassia?
He described it to everyone, really.
It is not quite the same as your incident, Cassia, in
Oh.
that there is definitely someone receiving on the other end. It's kind of like he's leaving a voicemail.
Oh, okay. So he experienced like leaving a voicemail?
Yes.
Okay.
Whereas yours was more just like hitting static,
Okay.
which would imply perhaps unconsciousness on the part of the target.
Sweet. He might survive. Or he could be a shadow person living under a city, and that might be just what happens to sorcerer kings who get killed. Like, this literally could be
Well,
happening.
some of them get put into orbs.
Yeah.
Oh, that's fair.
Regardless.
Live in pyramids in the death realm.
Yeah.
He's in a phylactery.
Well,
now.
unfortunately-
Some become ghosts.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, regardless of the specifics, this implies he's perhaps not in the best of condition.
Yeah.
It's hard to imagine after what he said before that he would simply choose to not respond.
Right.
Likely. And it's also hard to imagine that considering
how powerful he is and how long he's had to contemplate his own survivability, that he would just be torn apart by a beast. He may have lost the fight, but still had the means to keep himself alive.
Or perhaps he's recuperating.
Yeah, I find it very hard to believe he would stick the fight out to the point of death.
After all, he basically blasted himself with one of his own spells before going into that fight. I can only imagine that would hurt, getting hit by a Sorcerer King's spell.
Well, regardless, doesn't seem like we can count on him for much.
Not at the moment, anyway.
So we continue on our plan?
Well,
At least as far as going to Raam. Perhaps the Veiled Alliance there can help us think of some way to combat this ridiculous creature.
Hopefully theirs is better than mine.
Well,
they are probably the best of the ones we've run across since the incident in Tyr.
So I've only seen the one. How's your track record with Veiled Alliance has been?
Oh, excellent.
I'm curious
Just
how
nothing but
100% competent.
I'll not lie to you.
Organized, supported. Everything about them has
You
just been
sound
stout.
very sarcastic.
You deserved to know the truth, so I will give it to you. In Tyr, the Veiled Alliance is reduced to a single old man and his apprentice.
Is that the hick boy that's been running around his...
No, the
Vermilion. What?
I'm a wizard.
This
Vermilion.
is the T-Wizard.
I don't know what Armilia is.
Oh, whatever.
Yeah.
In Nibene, as far as I can tell, they're wiped out. In Golg, as far as I can tell, they're wiped out. You've seen what they're like in Balic.
I mean, there was one other old man in Golg.
He went insane and ran screaming deeper into the Sorceress Queen's palace.
Because you refused to kill him.
Why would you refuse to kill a guy who's like...
Who was begging for death?
Yes.
I mean, if Kate had been there, he would have killed him. That's all I'm saying.
If somebody...
You were there.
Sweet
I was
release-
AFK though. That's
True. It's true.
Yeah, someone like, oh, I just wish I was dead right now. Who can I call on? Kate's a pretty good choice.
Well,
However, the Veiled Alliance in Raam, at least last time we saw them, was quite numerous and functioning, if rather unambitious in their goals.
Okay, well, how were they unambitious?
They were hoping they could convince the Queen of Raam to simply give up political power and let them run things.
That sounds very democratic of them.
Oh, right. You're
Yeah.
more bad.
Tiberius nods.
Exactly.
Can we make that a bad word?
You are both aware, of course, that this voting thing only exists in Balic, and that proposing that in any other city would just get your head cut off, right?
Makes so
Tiberius
much sense,
nods.
though.
And also
Fair enough.
that doesn't actually serve their needs as preservers whatsoever.
There's also that point, but they seem to have been forced into it by us because after our little escapade there. What is her actual name again? I've been trying to think of it. Okay, Avalatre. I only could think of Snooki. Avalatre
Unbelievable.
seems to blame the death of her Far Herald converted High Templar on them rather than on the Far Heralds or even us.
Whoops.
And actively is fighting them now instead of kind of ignoring
What
them.
city doesn't have it out for us now?
Oh, and of
We
course
have
the
joined-
Yorick Veiled Alliance was completely wiped out, but that happened long ago, and I'm sure you were already aware of that.
Yeah, I wouldn't go to York.
Yeah, I hear it's a
Not
terrible
yet.
place. I hear it's just an awful, awful place.
Well, it's a good spot to stay away from my understanding. Just safety is good.
At any
Well,
rate,
after it's very safe.
we're headed to
Excellent
Raam
place for
to give
civilian
the
safety.
Dragon Mask.
Let's go!
To give the Dragon
Good time.
Mask over to the Veiled Alliance there, who believes they can use it to help win their battle. I also have something else to give them that may help even more.
Well, I wonder how interested they'll be in that dragon mask once they realize that it comes with a Lich and a Tarask.
Dragon mask, dragon mask, dragon mask. You have the mask of the Dread King.
Yes.
You heard Yarnath mention it.
I didn't quite put one and one together until just now.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
So this thing is
Say.
more important than the crown itself?
I mean,
to Dragoth.
yeah.
Oh no.
I don't suppose. Since coming into possession of said mask, you've seen strange, affected crocodilian cultists on
We
your
did
path.
shortly after finding it, but
Here
not
and
since
there.
then.
You positive about that?
That I remember.
This is me putting a link to that episode in the YouTube
Yeah.
commentary.
Editor's comment. See. See episode
38.
Dragoth seeks the artifacts that he lost when his city was destroyed so long ago. I fear reuniting said items may allow him to escape the city that serves as his prison.
Yes, we were aware of that. One of his Templars talked to us about that before she died.
You ran into a Templar of Dragoth?
Unfortunately.
It's rather
And then the
alarming.
Templar of Dragoth ran into a
Not as-
sword.
not
Based on our experiences, it's no surprise he's been in prison
Let's
for a
say
millennia.
not as
You would think.
Oh.
Oh. What does that mean?
That means that we make good Templars in York, and that's not universal.
Indeed. Well. Again, I have to ask, how many cities are enemies of us now that we've joined you?
Anyway, point being, you may want to reconsider before handing over such a powerful thing to, as you say, an organization with not necessarily the greatest batting record.
I hear your words, but
Or excuse me, I forgot I'm an Athos. Hitting record.
Oh, I get
Like-
that. Hitting things.
well,
Yes.
I mean,
We do that all the time.
the mask is technically theirs. I cannot refuse to return it to them.
Oh,
You could just not
can.
tell them.
Oh, right. I understand. And one of the lights
I will.
inside of his mask goes,
I will, of course, warn them of the dangers of possessing it, but they insist on having it returned to them.
You'll hand that over to them.
I would really suggest not handing it over to them.
I mean, I would have suggested that in the first place,
Like-
because I don't put any faith in them whatsoever.
So-
But knowing this now,
They're under assault from a sorceress queen.
that's a good
Well-
reason not to give it to them.
Yes.
Like, right now,
Seems like
I
a better
asked
reason-
about the stability of the Veiled Alliance.
And they're the one that seem to somewhat have things together.
Yes.
And you
Seems like a better
don't
reason
sound
to not-
full of confidence.
Seems like a better reason to not go there.
Yes, Raam's a wretched city.
I would like to see it.
You wouldn't. The
You're
last
right,
time
I
some-
wouldn't.
The last time somebody said that, they were stabbed to death in
They're one of the few allies that actually.
Wait, what?
They're one of the few allies that we have that actually did something useful for us, and didn't crumble in on themselves immediately afterward. We can't just throw that away.
Such honor.
Then
I'm touched.
Throw away the mask in trying to uphold your morality.
It's not throwing it away. It'll be at least as well guarded there as it is with us.
Did you think
Is it?
that?
They were a fairly talented bunch, from what I could tell. I
Were
studied
they?
under them.
They sent us to go do their bidding because they couldn't.
I don't know if it was because they couldn't or they simply wanted someone to do it. We'll see where things stand when we arrive. They've been under attack for some time now. They may not be in a condition to receive it anymore anyway, in which case this is all moot.
I'm just saying, from my perspective, right now, if we hand that mask over to the Veiled Alliance, in Raam, it will not be long before we see it on Yarneth's face.
Antoria looks frustrated but doesn't give a further answer.
I see this only as a massive risk. I don't see any upside to this.
I forget, are you still under the Geas?
She agreed to remove that. Based on my giving my word, I would return the mask.
Oh,
Hey!
wow,
tricky.
Well, let's
then that's resolved. Kate says unironically.
I could have removed the damn thing any moment I wished.
I'm aware.
Up until this point, the Veiled Alliances have only failed me, not the other way around.
payback.
We're going to give them the opportunity to fail you again under these circumstances with these consequences.
I will speak to them and see what their plans for the damn thing are.
Ooh. I have an idea.
Oh, good.
Me, Casimir.
Yes, let's hear it. I can't wait.
Why do they want this mask?
That's one thing I intend to find out.
They think they can use it as a weapon of war.
Against the Sorcerer Queen, right?
Yes.
Is there something else you could give them?
There is
Yeah,
actually
my complete disregard as we bypass
there
their city and
is
Draj.
actually something
Clever,
else.
but I'm not as willing to believe that they'll accept that.
There is actually something else I have that's rather unique.
Cassia.
I will see if they're.
I accept this gift.
I will see if they're interested in it, but I still agreed to give them the mask if they want it.
Well,
We're not there yet. We have some time to work this out.
I don't know anyone's gonna turn down an artifact gift or an artifact.
They might when they learn who's after it.
Yes.
I will say that giving it away will shake Yarnath from our tail for a time. Although, from what I can understand, he's got it out for you boys.
Yarnath, honestly,
And you. I'm sorry, you're very small.
Yarnath, for a time, was not very bothered by the last time the Veiled Alliance was trying to keep something from him. But I will make them aware of the dangers and see what they think.
Is it true he used to have a walking fortress?
Yes.
Ooh, was it made of dinosaurs?
Bones,
Behemoths.
Yes.
That's so cool.
Yes, it was rather pleasant fighting against it.
Really?
Crazy
No.
cats inside there.
Cats.
I hate cats.
Killed them.
Not fast enough.
I was trying to give him a show. He's here to check out our planet.
Tell me more. Tell me more.
Don't encourage.
What else was
him.
there?
It's not-
Self-animated books and chairs
What?
and desks.
That's crazy. What did you do to those?
Books that turn you into
We
a bitch.
let them wander off into the desert.
And you set them on fire.
Oh, there was a few of that.
This is great.
Shouldn't encourage him.
What else have you guys done? Well, remember the time.
How long is it to Raam anyway? Asking Tiberius this now since he's the ship expert guy.
Breakpoints.
Or breakpoint, yeah.
Maybe another couple of days, assuming we're not interrupted.
So we don't have any random encounters between here and there.
Well, I suppose I could send a message ahead to Nanda of the Veiled Alliance there and see how things stand before we actually arrive. Not a bad idea. Not much else I can do with that anyway.
Nothing but screaming back.
That's just how she responds to messages. So she's fine.
If only we'd had the masks sometime earlier than this.
Alright, I guess Antoria will try sending a brief message to Nanda, basically saying, we're on the way, hope everything is going reasonably well. Reply if you are able.
Sure. Nanda replies immediately saying, excellent. Plans somewhat stalled, but more important now than ever.
Alright. Well, she's there and waiting for it.
Oh, excuse me. I'm sorry.
The bigger question is my planned trip to Uruk.
Do you want to be alone in the wastes?
I didn't want to be before. It's a much different question with Yarnath and that damned Tarask running around now. If he comes after you, without my counter magic, things may go poorly. If he comes after me and I'm alone, things almost certainly go poorly.
Did you see what he did to Marcus? That Tarask.
I did.
I've never seen anything like it. In all the battles I've ever fought, in all the history I've ever read.
I wish I knew if the Tarask could be affected by magic if it chose. If its protection against magic is completely involuntary, then it can't be teleported around. It must be transported.
It is not.
This is important.
I'm sorry. I'm trying to think of vocabulary words that won't make him hit me. It doesn't synchronize well with the magic of this world.
So
It's simply.
it cannot choose to be affected by magic even if it wishes to be, is what it sounds like you're saying.
It cannot, no. But if something does affect it, then it will not happen as such twice.
Oh,
Interesting.
does it adapt and becomes immune?
Immune is perhaps too strong a word. Simply, it is capable of devouring a great many more things than we would even consider capable of being consumed.
Ah,
It is like the Kraken in that regard.
that's unpleasant.
But that does seem to suggest it cannot simply be teleported around at will. Or
Or
even
does not
magic,
simply teleport.
or magically made to fly even. However it gets around, it must get around as a normal creature of its shape, size, and locomotion.
Yes, the boat that we were on served as its transports to Balic.
That boat was missing when we left the dock, but the creature was still there.
Yes, I imagine that given the opportunity, the crew decided to put some distance between them and it.
And it's
What was left of the crew,
fire.
anyway.
Given that, the trip to Uruk probably will still be safe, and I do still want to do it. It's no less important than before.
What's in Uruk?
Danger.
Ooh.
It's not particularly important to you at this time.
Gossip. I see. That's fine. I'll take the hints.
So here's another important question. The creature, is it able to track down? Could it find us so simply? Or how does it travel, for that matter?
It crawls about on its feet, just as any four-legged beast might.
But even the still sea would perhaps be a difficult obstacle for it to cross?
I have little doubt that, given no other option, it could indeed crawl along the bottom. But I imagine it will have to find whatever physical transport it can.
I guess what I'm getting at is that we've probably bought ourselves a fair amount of time.
That's what I'm
Time
thinking.
for certain.
Rest assured, though, Yarnath will reform, and Yarnath will retrieve it,
Yeah.
because that is his task, to escort it.
We'll certainly see it again, as well as Yarnoth. I'm less worried about your lich friend and more about this creature, though.
Agreed. If it's just Yarnath, even I alone might be able to escape at least. Not easily.
Is it true he was once in your brain?
Yes.
That's weird.
That won't be happening again.
Oh, I hope not.
We definitely should. At any rate, let's see what we find in Raam.
Alright.
Okay.
Marcus will pull Zorak aside and say, by the way, that reminds me, thank you for repairing my leg. Who knows where I'd be if I was unable to move myself.
I always am one to aid the clutch.
I guess if the remaining days or the remaining time is uneventful, Antoria will progress Marcus's literacy lessons another couple of days.
You guys don't have any particular encounters along the way. You spot some roving wildlife, but Tiberius is a solid enough captain to steer you clear of it.
Cool. And I'll switch back Otto's irresistible dance and get rid of sending
Okay.
during this time.
That's fair. A couple of days later, you guys settle into the sleepy port of Breakshore. It's a pretty small little town run by a couple of the merchant houses. Mostly serves as a spot to load up shipping goods that have been shipped from farther south.
During the trip, I wanted to also ask Antoria about the familiar summoning and try and see if I could talk him into letting me learn the ritual associated with it.
Oh.
It's relatively agreeable to that. And through whatever the process, I don't remember how that exact feat works, unfortunately. I know it's possible. I don't know what the rules are. Do you?
I can copy it into my ritual book, but I need inks to do it, if I recall.
Ah.
So I may not be able to do it during this trip, but if you're agreeable, I can acquire the inks. Unless I already have them, which I have.
That's probably the sort of thing you'd have on hand.
Was this our final destination, or
It's our final boat destination.
Boat
We
destination,
leave the
yeah,
boat,
okay.
we're going to go to Rome.
Just like the movie, Final Destination.
Yeah.
Yes.
No,
Yes.
no, please no.
It's just like Final Destination 5.
Ice Planet.
With that in mind, as you guys are going to do anything as you pull into shore, before you approach anything? Well, Tiberius gathers you up as you guys lash up to the dock. So what's the plan then? Are you off? Where should I go? Should I wait here?
Well, we continue on foot to Rome, and then from there, Draj.
What level is the spell?
First.
First? Okay.
Would it be faster for us to get to Draj via boat?
Would it be faster to go double back and then sail that way, or?
Are you asking me or are you asking Tiberius?
Tiberius.
Because
Tiberius
Cade,
might know.
but Cade spent the last month poring over maps. For
No,
us.
that's true. That's true.
That is true.
It would undoubtedly be faster and safer to go by boat.
Okay, yeah. Let's say so. The intention is for us to go to Rome, part ways with Antoria, and be back shortly, so we can take the boat route along the coast if that works for you.
Very well.
I would recommend for your own safety, just staying in town, staying around the port. You're probably very comfortable in this sort of environment anyway. Much safer here.
I'll get cozy.
Much safer here than in Raam.
Are there any docking fees or anything for keeping the boat here?
Tiberius takes care of it.
Oh, well, thank you very much.
I'm doing my part. It's like the idiot says. This is kind of fun. I mean, my city burned down, but
Sorry about that. This
What-
wasn't our fault, though.
what can you
All of
do?
it. No, from what Tanger saw, it's at least sort of intact. If First Citizen is still alive, he should be able to get things back in order, I would think.
Praise his name.
And if not, I'm sure they could elect somebody very competent in his stead.
Yes.
You know, you are quite popular with the people.
It's true. It's true.
Well, regardless, thank you for your aid thus far, Tiberius.
Most certainly.
We'll be back as soon as we're finished in Raam, which will hopefully be quick.
Shall see.
Best of luck.
Because that's all this party ever does is quick.
Yeah, we never run into complications anywhere. Let's say, well, if we need to resupply or if there's anything in particular that you need that would be easier to find in this sort of port, we should take care of it now. But otherwise, I don't see any reason to hang around.
Well, we should
So
secure
things-
some transport.
We'll need to get mounts and then go from there. But
Honestly, the only thing that I should take care of here in that regard, I should take care of once we've met with our friends.
understood.
They'd have easier access to it than I would get anyway.
Well then, let's not waste any time.
Alright. So, do we remember where we went into their area from before?
I'm sorry?
The Veiled Alliance
Well, we're
base
still in.
here.
We're
We're still in
we're
Breakpoint,
still
I guess.
Sure.
Yeah, so
I guess
okay to
getting
say,
ahead of
like,
things.
as we arrive, it's basically like we should get mounts and go to Raam.
Okay.
Like,
Yep,
instead
that
of
makes
hanging
sense.
around the port.
Alright,
Yep.
off we go.
All right.
Unless there's anything going on in town that interrupts us. Like, the guards are like, "Oh no, the festival's about to start. You can't leave yet."
No. Shut up. I like this game.
I do too.
Good. No, nothing like that
Barring
happens.
anything of interest getting in our way, Kane would be.
This place is literally sleepy. There's not a whole lot going on here.
Yeah. Got
As long as you're not looking to interfere with either the pirates or the merchant sailors or anything like
it.
that.
Not at this
Are there any
time.
side quests? Anyone with a little extra?
They're lower level than would be
Yeah.
really
Sure, the
worthwhile.
merchants are like,
Yeah.
"You need to
You'll
take
get
care of-"
reputation points.
Yeah.
So if that's the sort of thing you want to bank
I
up,
love grinding rep.
yeah, absolutely.
Come back at max level.
There you go. There you
Just
go.
like
Yeah.
crush 'em. Merchants are like,
This
"We need to
also-
take care of the merchant house." Or the
Exactly.
pirates. The pirates are like, "You need to take care of the merchant house."
Right. It also has the cross faction auction house. So you can
Oh.
see whatever the Templars are selling.
Okay, good.
Yeah.
It's just severed heads. Antoria's old friends.
Antoria burned down the auction house.
All right,
The guards turn on you.
Yeah. Calm down.
Not again.
T-Rex.
Well, you guys saddle up and head north to Raam, which is not that far off. It's about a half day's ride. And as you approach Raam, you're getting a little bit of a different kind of vibe than the last time that some of you I guess it was just... It was three of you. Okay, so it was most of you. That's fair, that's fair.
Zorak and I are just like, oh,
Yeah, like, oh, this is great.
Rom sounds great.
Well,
never
it's...
such good thing.
It's not that it necessarily sounds great, but you've heard that Raam has sort of a reputation as sort of a rough and tumble, kind of chaotic, kind of anarchic kind of place. A place where people are just partying, where people are, getting
Everyone knows your
shivved. Yeah, no, I've never seen that show. I'm 5 years old. I don't know what's going on. No one knows your name, and they stab you for it. And then your best friend teleports to the roof and jumps off.
See ya in hell.
That's what happens. And certainly this place looks like it's the sort of place that's dangerous, but actually looks maybe a little bit more militant than you've been led to believe. There are a lot of patrols going up and down the road. Not necessarily like doing a lot of stop and frisk necessarily, but they're giving a lot of eyes. There's a lot of presence here, and they've got these big silken kind of outfits, but they're dressed for war. There's a lot of folks sort of keeping their heads down, trying to make sure that the patrols don't give them too much attention as you approach. And if anything, there's just sort of this hushed, kind of quiet paranoia around the place. As you approach the great city, you can see that there's this massive kind of squatters kind of trade area outside this main city itself.
So as at some way on the ride up, as we're kind of observing this, when there's like a lull in the patrols and the other travelers and stuff, Kate is going to say, "This looks more dangerous than the last time we entered this city."
It matches what she said.
How important is this
It is
destination?
only because of my excessive trust in you that I'm going through with this, but you have to understand that this looks like madness.
How well known are you in this city?
Other than the friends we're here to meet,
No,
not terribly.
Antoria does a good job keeping a low profile. However, if my identity is discovered here in Raam, as opposed to the far reaches to the south, we'll be in a lot more trouble here.
True.
Everyone give me a perception check.
Is that like someone just like
Yeah.
right at you?
Natural 20.
Natural 20!
Tanger got a 22, and Antoria got an 8.
25.
Okay. Most of you notice that there is, in fact, a pack of Templars mounted on Crodloos stepping your way. Not like in a hustle or with any greater attention than they've been giving any of the other groups of travelers. But this one does look intent on approaching and addressing you.
Us in particular.
Yeah, absolutely.
Oh, hello. Okay.
Because we don't look odd.
We have new friends coming to visit.
What's our story?
Ooh! Wait, did you bring Casimir?
Did we have to have? I think that...
Trick question. Casimir brought himself.
Yeah, I was gonna say, unfortunately,
There was not a way we could not...
He's shoved himself into your backpack right next to little buddy.
I could have thrown him in.
This is cramped.
Quick mappy knowledge lesson. If you did not have access to a ship, would resupplying in Draj be a reasonable thing to do before going to the north? If you did not have a ship.
Well, if you... keep in mind, most people don't know about the cities to the north. Draj is, for a lot of people, like the last point of civilization. It's got a reputation as being like out in the sticks. People out there are weird. They like marry their sisters and stuff like that.
Well, we'll get to that arc.
Yeah, absolutely. It's it's out in the boonies, but it is a major city. So I mean,
You might find explorers heading to the north still, even though there's nothing out there.
I mean, there's definitely villages and stuff like that, and if you're looking for stuff from like the beastmen that live up in those ranges, that's where you'd probably go to get it. Although more likely you just find one of the merchant houses that's based in Draj and pay exorbitant prices for whatever it is that they've shipped your way.
Okay, then I guess our story is here. We're here to acquire goods that the beastmen. What did the beastmen make that anyone buys anyway?
I mean, they'll make whatever it is that people are offering, pottery, weapons, that kind of thing. It's just...
This is like exotic goods.
Are
Yeah,
there
exactly.
Are there hides that are particular to this region?
Yeah,
Pretty sure
absolutely.
it's-
That's exactly it,
Because
yeah.
they are at war and ripping their skin off and selling. I mean, it's Dark Sun, right? That's what's going on. There's no way that they're not selling each other's hides.
I mean...
Don't fucking lie to me. Don't look me in the eye and say that's not what's happening in the outlets of Dark Sun.
Maybe. I don't know. I'll have to consult the book.
It's like the first line.
Well known for ripping the skin off of their
Dark Sun fucked up.
Yeah, I'll say that makes sense. Also, gesture to you three and be like explorers, scholars, diplomats, guards.
Sounds good. You seem to get along well with these sorts. Want to try doing the talking?
She doesn't know this region.
True, but we're traders and explorers.
Has Cassie...
You there? Yes.
out of character. Has Cassie been to this region before?
No.
Okay, she never came this far north.
No.
She didn't she didn't know where her house was.
You did, but you were over in Uruk.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Much more on the other side.
Yeah, you took sort of a diagonal path.
Okay.
You there?
Still straight though.
What are you doing here in the realm of the great Grand Vizier?
Say, forgive us. Like, would you refer to Templars as lords, like Lord Templar, or?
You wouldn't go wrong in doing so.
Okay, I mean, because like
Commoners don't know this
Well,
shit,
Kate
so
would
they
know
might
this,
as well.
though,
Yeah.
he's literally from
Well,
next door.
so
Commoners wouldn't know.
yeah,
Are
exactly.
you a commoner?
Yes, in quotes.
I love common things.
He'll duck his head just so slightly. He's like, apologies, lords. We're just making our way through Raam, heading up to Draj. I'll leave it at that unless he feels like. Should I give a roll?
Are you using a skill of any kind?
Not yet. No, not intentionally. Right now, he's just like, I'll give them bare minimum information, and if they're like, okay, carry on, then we're all done. Here you drawing a combat map.
No.
Oh no.
Gets out his red pen. I'm gonna need this. Environmental storytelling.
We're on the lookout for a group of outlaws who have violated Divine Badna's rule, who have offended Abalach Ray, trespassed in our very temple, in our palace, and have caused chaos in the streets of Raam, led by this man.
Who is that?
I'm afraid.
It's Armin.
Hideous visage.
Yeah, awful. Said we've passed through Raam here and there as travelers, but it's been some time. We know nothing.
You are obligated to report any such blue individuals
Wait, he's
to the
blue?
city.
They don't die in Dark Sun.
Well, yeah, but a blue person is still pretty remarkable.
Yeah.
Yes, blue.
An elf.
Is he tasty?
Well, regardless of his.
Keep your animal in line.
Sorry, you know how slaves are.
Yes, dangerous. Do you have a license? That'll be 15 gold to acquire said license.
Takes 15 gold out of my pocket. Hand it over.
You're obligated as visitors to the great city of Raam to report any such individuals to the city guard at once.
Immediately, I wouldn't want a man like that running around.
Certainly not. It's very dangerous.
Elves of any color are rarely to be trusted anyway.
Yes, and this one is a spellcaster, if you'll believe it.
That's what makes him blue.
Can't stand those.
The spitting party, everyone's spitting.
Yeah. Like literally, the Templars are also secret mages. Ew. We all hate mages.
Casimir is, of course, like, oh yeah, and spits on the mask. Oh no!
For some reason, I'm reminded of that stoning scene from Life of Brian where it's all.
Oh yeah, exactly.
Women here are there.
No.
Yes. Continue on your way. Cause no trouble.
Thank you, lords. We'll be on the lookout for that one-eyed blue elf.
Did we receive an actual license as a point of order?
No.
Yeah, of course not.
Okay, fair enough. Just checking.
Push on ahead.
We
They
have
continue on their way to dress down some other travelers.
After we pass them, a little ways down. Well,
Another group is, we need a license. Another group, we need a
I
license.
mean, that
we
might
need a
happen.
license.
No, we just literally don't call you a slave again, and we're
Yeah.
fine.
well.
Charming. As always.
Well, they were located outside of the city.
Where you guys are.
Remember, correct?
Yep.
We remember precisely where we used to go. It was like through
The
a
crematorium.
It was through the crematorium, that's correct. Using such knowledge, you're able to trace the smokestacks through the buildings and find your way to the Veiled Alliance's headquarters.
Ooh, everything still seems to be. How do they look now that we're back in the headquarters?
You just walk right in.
Well, I think we should
wasn't
assess
aware.
before.
I wasn't sure how far we.
We're
are.
back!
I wasn't sure how far we had auto traveled.
Hey, is this where all the mages
So,
are?
fine, let me go.
100 Templars are inside, they all just turn.
Yeah.
So then, all right. So how far did we auto travel in that sequence then?
You're at the entrance to the crematorium.
Okay.
Yeah.
So we see a certain dwarf fellow.
You do.
All right. Toria will. All right. If he gestures us inside, then yes,
All right.
we will.
All right.
Yeah.
All right,
mages are.
just making sure.
Is this where the magic happens?
Mages? Oh no.
What a magical experience.
The real actual mages?
Is this where we learn spells here?
Oh, that's what Raam stands for. Real actual mages.
Real actual human mages.
Excellent.
Actual alliance mages.
Well, the Alliance is terribly excited to see some of you.
Yeah.
There's a little bit of,
King was pretty shitty to them last time he was here.
I mean,
Shocker!
more to the point, like there's three complete strangers just sort of jaunting around, sure. Ooh.
You do need to keep it in line.
Remember, they're on a war footing.
Don't know. Never mind.
Let's just get this over with.
Yeah.
It's kind of like half climbing up the wall.
And one of the mages wheels out Nanda, who greets you. It's good to see that some keep their word in this world.
Indeed. We should speak at once. We have many matters to discuss beyond the one that brought us here.
Your associates have changed somewhat since you last were in our city.
I said keep it in line, and it's all of you.
Antoria frowns a little bit and says, Mathis is a harsh world.
The blue one, as you may have seen, is quite popular.
Yes, he
Yes,
proved
he
quite
has
popular
that
with the dragon as well, to his detriment. I don't think the Templars will have much luck finding him ever.
It seems curious that you would come all this way and then not speak truthfully with me.
Antoria gets a very exasperated look on his face. If you doubt my words, read my damn mind.
Who are your other companions?
This is Cassia, late of Balic. This
Hello.
is Zorak, late of the wilderness west of Tyr. I don't really know more precisely than that, I'm afraid.
Water cleric.
Water cleric, yes. Both have proven trustworthy.
Forgot the exact name.
This is
They should know him already.
Casimir.
Oh, that one. Sorry. I couldn't see him hiding behind.
Hello!
He's going to be very quiet and diligent throughout this meeting.
As a mouse. Diligent as a mouse.
And known for their diligence.
Oh, excuse me, it's Dark Sun. A Gauss.
Yes, thank you.
I mean, Athos.
I throw him into the silt sea.
Run all the way home.
Oh, goodness.
I come all this way with the mask, and the first thing out of your mouth practically is that you doubt what I'm telling you.
You told me that the dragon literally ate one of your friends.
I did not say that he was eaten. I said he got the dragon's attention to his detriment. I don't actually know exactly what happened to him. The dragon visited us.
Well, regardless of where he is now, the queen has taken on a very paranoid reaction to his escape.
As you said.
The whole of the city is very different than when you last saw. She is very interested in the security and the rule of the domain that she lays claim to.
So I've
Her
seen.
attentions are unwelcome.
I can imagine.
Nonetheless, it is thus much more important that we resist her, that we bring her, our city under control.
I agree. I would ask you, though, what part in this does the mask play? From the research I gathered, it is powerful, yes, but
Look around you. What do you see? Knowledge, understanding. But we are very few in number, and she has legions under her command. You have seen what the mask can do, and an entire section of our city is filled with skeletons, zombies, other such undead. Such numbers that we can use to inflate our own power, that we might stand a chance in resisting her.
I see. Well, there are two other things to discuss then. First is, are you aware of what has recently transpired in Balic a few days ago?
How could I?
Well, Would you go ahead and just read my damn mind? You're going to accuse me of lying about this too.
I would prefer to hear what you have to say.
Very well. Antoria...
Why not take it for granted that I will do my best to believe you?
Very well. Antoria relates
Yes.
some of the adventures they had in Balic. He does.
Okay.
He leaves out pretty much any mention of their contact with the Veiled Alliance whatsoever.
Okay.
That's excised neatly and easily from the story because pretty much all we did was say hi. You
stole
guys are
Cassie
dicks,
out
and we
loud.
left.
Yeah, that's fair.
Actually
That's
played
fair.
the real role in what happened. The tricky part, and the part I'm still trying to actually decide what to do about, is the whole part where we were kind of buddy-buddy with the Sorcerer King for a little bit. That's kind of more central to the story.
We infiltrated the party.
Yeah, but that turns into an outright lie, and Antoria is terrible at lying and isn't actually even willing to lie
When
in this
we
case.
entered the party, we weren't buddy-buddy. It's not a lie. We got
Well,
there,
Antoria
and we
has
saw the pillar get destroyed.
Well, that's not necessarily true. What if, over the course of recounting, you get up to that point, and then if Cassia notices that perhaps you're having some problems, steps on your words a little bit and takes over the storytelling?
That sounds perfect.
All right.
So Antoria tells the story relatively uneventfully. He talks about suspecting the Far Heralds were behind the Black Boat at first, which was true.
Sure.
And, we start looking into how we can counter that because we're afraid of what they might do if they get access to the first citizen through winning the race.
Sure.
We go about that, but we actually win the race. And Antoria starts to kind of scratch his head a little and look a little uncertain towards the part about where we actually won the race.
Yep.
Which means through this we were actually able to gain access to the palace, which is where the pillar was stored. We were hoping to be able to analyze it a little bit and bring it under control. However, there was an attack at the same time. The pillar wound up being destroyed, and much of the city with it.
It's probably important to add that we were actually the targets of the attack. I'm sure you remember the name Yarneth. I'm sure you also know the name Dragoth. Dragoth apparently still lives, in some manner of speaking, and can give orders. He ordered Yarneth freed from the floating continent. We had left him one. And Yarneth came to attack us, specifically mentioning that he wanted a number of magical artifacts we are carrying, including the mask, unfortunately. I don't know how he knew we had it, but he knew we had it. As you know, he's a lich. We fought him off and defeated him. He is probably not gone for good.
In fact, I believe he said, "I'm not gone for good."
Well, not to put too fine a point on it, one of my concerns is that in giving you the mask, we may only be giving you a new problem. You know what happened last time when all the alliances stood against Yarneth. With only yours, will you be buying worse problems than you already had?
Would you like to be caught between two Sorcerer Kings?
To be clear, the mask is yours. If you insist on reclaiming it, I will give it to you. But I may have a different solution anyway.
Go on.
Antoria takes out a Ouija board that might look familiar to most of the party. He fiddles with it a little bit, adjusting it so that it shows these scapegoat spells.
Okay.
Have you seen this before?
Oh.
And hands it to Nanda.
Well disguised, yes.
But you have seen the spell before.
Yes, indeed.
Well, that's unfortunate. I hoped I was bringing you something new.
An appreciable gesture. But
If you already know it, then it's something you already have at your disposal.
the spells that I have in my repertoire, I admit, are not quite the focus of my mind. You've given me quite a bit to think about. What say you, if you are not on your way immediately? Rest here, and we will speak in the morning when I've had time to consider all this.
Fair offer. In the meantime, I would actually like to study that book myself. I haven't had a chance in the intervening adventures.
We are nothing if not curators of knowledge.
Very well.
Years of knowledge, you say.
You are awfully well spoken for the people of the forest,
Unusual.
Also well studied.
and well dressed at that,
Yes.
and oddly unravenous.
Yes. I find that both I and everyone around me are appreciative for that.
Nando reaches over and like yanks on a little bit of your hair.
Ah, that is real, actual hair though.
So it is.
Yeah.
Curious.
But you mentioned study, being fans of study and knowledge, and I was curious if I might be able to look through some of your books.
Most certainly.
Wonderful, thank you.
Okay.
Alright, so one question. Does Antoria have any sort of running discount with these guys on spell components at the moment?
Yes.
How much of a
Oh,
discount?
he gets a faction.
25%.
25%?
Yep.
Excellent. Alright. Antoria kind of looks at the party and has a very uncomfortable look on his face.
Yes.
Well, we are at one of those rare junctures where I actually can study magic openly. It would be nice to be
Get
able.
out my gold pouch.
They have books here.
It is good to be with people of understanding.
Yes. What do you need?
Well, he messes with the Ouija board a bit and puts it in several configurations and seems to do some figuring on a piece of notepad which he accepts from thin air.
Casimir.
Magic!
Casimir just produces.
I am a mighty sorcerer.
Don't say that, he'll literally kill you.
I am a mighty sorcerer.
Yeah.
It wouldn't do to be greedy, he mumbles to himself and scratches off a couple of things. And, well,
Toria greedy?
at least they do have a running account. He's have trouble doing math in his head, which implies ominous things about the amount, perhaps.
Yeah, I know. Kate is just watching with like an increasing look of skepticism.
Am I forgetting anything?
Casimir is like staring at like all the numbers and like just question mark after question mark is just appearing over his head like.
Okay. I think 425 would cover it.
So we're just hands you the gold.
Oh.
You're the one going on the journey by yourself. You will most need it.
Thank you, Zorak.
Such touching loyalty.
And you'll certainly need more if you have some money on hand.
True.
Don't forget that before we go.
Of course.
Marcus will toss an extra 100, just so you don't forget later.
Oh. It's remarkable to have such good friends.
So that'd be enough to get you by.
I think so. I had a little on my own that I was saving for the actual trip. I didn't want to bankrupt myself here.
Alright, well.
Oh, in that case.
Okay.
Punches you in the gut.
My lunch money.
I
Suck it, nerd.
I still have plenty if you need more.
Excellent. Well, thank you.
Moths flutter out of Cassia's money
Yeah.
bag.
It's fine.
Casimir tosses a fish onto the pile. I shoplifted this.
Where?
The market outside.
Cashmere.
Lovely. Well,
Marcus takes
He's holding a clump of fish.
well,
No one noticed him do it though. He's really
I know,
good.
he's such a
Like,
You're a
that's
good
actually-
thief! Ah.
No, I'll say that armor you're sporting.
Noteworthy, he's not wearing like the full regalia at this point. He's
Okay.
sort of traded it out for. He's got sort of
Like a sleeker
his
design.
well, he's got the inner armor on, but he's grabbed just sort of like a general kind of traveling cloak for purposes of traveling to Raam.
That's good.
Yeah.
I'll say that armor you were wearing.
Mm.
Is that made from the same material as your boat?
No.
What was your boat constructed of? Is that obsidian from the black? Was the place down south?
The Deadland.
Is that obsidian from the Deadland?
It is obsidian, but not from such a horrible place as that. Somewhere deep beneath the Dread King's palace.
Interesting.
But no, my armor was made of wood. Yes, it was very heavy.
Well,
most defensible of materials.
yes.
Actually, it's quite fragile. Please don't hit it.
Well, regardless, it sounds like we have some of us have some work to do.
Indeed, quite a bit ahead of me. Thank you. Antoria will immediately scurry off to the library to
Of course.
begin learning some spells that are probably going to get some odd looks from the table.
Yeah, that's fair. That's fair.
Go ahead and just name them now.
Yeah.
All right. He's drawing on certain memories from a certain passenger riding in his brain. He will pick up invisibility,
Okay. That is a good one.
and then from the Ouija board, he will pick up spoil food and drink.
Solid.
Glimpse the Black.
I don't know what that means.
Scapegoat. And I Bite.
Maybe they can't call it Scapegoat in Dark Sun.
They do.
They do.
It's a specific Dark Sun spell.
Oh, is
Yeah.
it?
Yeah, goats are legendary creatures.
Just say, what were those things called that were on Kashmir's ship?
Oh, those are brogs.
Yeah, Scape
Yeah.
Frogs.
And the total price for that. Let's take a look. Is
Some stuff.
615.
Okay.
So that takes
50 gold.
So it wipes out the 525 that he was given, and it also wipes out some of his own.
Okay.
But he still has some left. He didn't bankrupt himself.
Cassie, if you have particular spells that you want to dig up, you're more than welcome to do that. You can do that now or offline if you'd rather.
Offline would probably be best,
Yep.
but she was more particularly wanting to look through historical tomes, anything that looks like it might be related to the pillars, or the oldest stuff she can find, aiming for knowledge about, she has a map of the other pillar locations. She wants to look up anything she can cross-reference with those areas, and she's basically just studying along that line.
Sure, that makes sense.
Trying to pick up anything she can.
Give me. So you can give me a history check. You'll have a tremendous bonus to it as a consequence of having all this stuff available. Say a plus 20 bonus.
A plus 20?
Yeah.
When I make a check later, or do you...
No, right now.
Right now?
Yeah.
With an 18, and you said history, so that's 28 plus 20.
Yep.
48.
Okay. Yeah. No, that's pretty good.
History Channel documentary comes on.
So, digging through some truly ancient reference material, you're able to determine that there is some kind of a city-state in the very far northwest that doesn't seem to show up in records later. That is stuff that has to do with the Sorcerer Kings. But stuff that seems to be like pre-Sorcerer Kings, if such stuff can be considered to be truthful, references a city called Thamasku that corresponds to the pillar in the far northwest.
Also, the voice of Morgan Freeman tells you all this.
Seems like no. Damn it.
Are there any physically capable people that Marcus could beat up?
There's Cade.
That's boring.
I'm sure anyone here can turn into a Phalar.
Yeah.
If you're not nice.
Not sure as many folks would be willing to at this juncture.
True.
Yeah, Cade will spend a little bit of his time. I mean, he's no researcher, but if there's anything he can find as far as the cities to the northeast and all that, then he'll see if he can read up a little bit on that.
Okay.
But mostly, he'll spend a lot of his time brooding around Antoria's.
Aren't you going to go find that one little corner where you received an FMV vision from Melania and just like sit there just in case?
Can you review it? Yeah.
Of course, yeah.
When I was like, "What? My page is going on."
But at some point while he's sort of hanging out, like if there's a break in Antoria's work, he'll like have his own book and sort of put it down and be like, "You didn't mention the Trask, I noticed."
Getting to that.
All right,
They were having trouble believing us as it was.
I understand. Great hospitality considering what you brought to them.
Well, they are giving me a discount on this at least.
So as long as they're here, yes.
Speaking of discounts in commerce,
Uh-huh.
while we're here,
Yeah.
that friendly quartermaster fellow who we've interacted with before,
Yeah.
Antoria will actually see if he's interested in buying the Ouija board now that Antoria has learned everything in it.
Yes, absolutely.
Excellent. What is he willing to pay for a book of, or a Ouija board rather, full of terrible, terrible spells?
200 gold.
200 gold is a fair offer.
Yeah.
Antoria happily accepts.
Okay.
Then, not hiding the fact that it's from Wheelock and just hoping that no one knows who Wheelock is this far north, he mentions the terrible, terrible poison that he's been carrying around.
You are flatly refused.
You're fighting a sorcerer queen. This is...
Everyone knows who this guy is and they don't want to mess with him.
Very well. Alright.
You're a preserver, same as us. You use it against her.
I'm worried I've spilled it on myself. I'm good at that sort
Real
of
bad
thing.
Texas.
I worry that this is like a quest item we're going to need later. It's becoming very
Tori also
apparent.
asks if he's interested in the water skin of anti-magic water from the pyramid.
He gives it a quick look over, but he is not terribly interested in it now.
Fair enough. The only other thing I think I might have might be... I'm afraid that's about everything I've got, I think, for this time, but thank you.
That's a fair bet.
Yep. Alright. There we go.
Okay, so maybe 8 hours passes or so, and then Nanda calls you back into conference. I'm the leader of the Veiled Alliance, and that means making difficult decisions. Raam is my home. I am dedicated to it, but I have done my own research, and forgive me, it was necessary given the incredible claims that you had made.
I do not dispute the need of it.
But it is true. Our world seems to be coming under incredible danger as incredibly powerful people begin to make their moves. If you believe that this mask would be better left in your own care, I will happily give it up.
In truth, I must confess I don't believe it's any safer with us than with you. The only difference is where Yarnath will turn his attention. You already have your hands full here.
Perhaps then it would be better to make sure that Yarnath looks elsewhere for a time.
May I consult with my companions for a moment?
Certainly.
It certainly would do that, probably.
How bad would it be if Yarnath were to get the mask?
There are 2 other pieces to the set. We don't know if Dragoth has them or not. I don't suppose... Kashmir, where are you? I don't suppose you know if Dragoth has had any luck finding the other 2 pieces.
I wouldn't know, I'm sorry. Again, not really a confidant of the Dread King.
Regardless, the honest truth is that even if the mask isn't reunited with the set and turned into a new Sorcerer King for all of your Preserver friends to combat, if Yarnath possesses that mask, he's going to do a lot worse with it than Marvin managed.
Another point to make, too, is if they tend to use the mask, I can only imagine using the mask would draw a lot
Far
of
more
attention.
attention. Yeah, it cannot be used.
We have not used it, to my knowledge.
No,
in a while.
not recently.
But regardless, if Yarnath possesses it, he will raise an army of the dead.
Let me ask you another question. Yarnath shows up again at our doorstep, Tarask in tow. What on earth are we going to do?
Destroy Yarnath and escape again. With these people trapped inside the watchful eye of Abelattre presently, between Templars and guards stuck inside this place, they'll be ripped apart.
One moment. Nanda, may I ask you a question?
Certainly.
Is it my understanding that this whole military state thing going on here is all based on the rather mistaken premise that her loyal High Templar was killed by the evil Veiled Alliance and this blue fellow?
I imagine that is what incited it, but given the language around her now regular propaganda, it seems that she's rediscovered some of her old battle lust. She seems more just intent on ruling more actively now, regardless of what the reason may be.
But the thing I'm thinking of is she's fighting the wrong enemy. Her High Templar had been converted by the Farhelds before we came along. It was the whole reason we ended up having to kill her in the first place. And yet she has mentioned nothing of this in any of her proclamations.
You seek to give her a more entertaining war, better for our ends?
I don't know how we could possibly get an audience with her that would convince her.
Wow.
She doesn't seem like the listening type.
Well, how do you care for your eyes?
As I said, she doesn't seem the listening type.
Weren't we very deliberately told to report in if we encountered any kind of suspicious activities, as it were? Perhaps we have information to do with just such a threat, but that must be heard by the Queen herself. That's the sort of thing that usually works, right? Right?
We're not about to meet another Sorcerer King, are we?
Well,
And
we're batting a lot presently.
What is batting? What is this batting everybody keeps talking
They're
about?
little flying creatures.
Oh.
I don't know if they're around
No,
anymore.
we're Dark Suns, so they're not bad.
We've
It's a
met,
gat.
we've met more than our share of sorcerer kings and queens in this journey. Although Ablatre is one I'm not particularly excited to meet.
And yet, I think she may be involved with this status quo the others have spoken of as well. I mean, let's observe something here. You're from York. If Hamanu was really at war with this place, it wouldn't have been
Would
standing.
be gone.
And yet, they've been at war for... How long? It's a history check. How long they've been
Since
at war?
before I was alive.
A bit.
A bit.
Fair bit.
Fair bit.
I've been
Did they
at war.
just forget to say they're not at war anymore? But they just
Oh,
stopped.
we still fight, but there's no.
I'm sure it's just like Nibene and
Yes.
Gulg. They
Skirmishes
send
all
out
the-
Templars, some of them poke each other with sharp objects and bleed a bit here and there.
skirmishes, some intrigue here and there.
But Nibene's Sorcerer King, for example, he hasn't even been there for a century. And somehow they've held out against Gulg with the Forest Goddess active? No, it's
that's
nonsense.
And frankly, Hamon was very clear about the status quo that was being kept and the understanding between sorcerer kings and queens. And if Ablatre was the betrayer, he would know it.
Nanda butts in. I'm sorry, Hamanu told you this?
Yes.
You're not the only ones who've noticed.
Would you like to read my mind?
No, that's fine. It's just.
I forgot Nanda ever found out you were a Templar of Manu.
No, she knew. She knew right away.
That was made pretty clear,
Yeah.
I think, early on.
Yeah.
But he wasn't the chosen.
You are not the only one
Yeah,
who has
but
looked
come
at
on.
what's happening around the world and can come to the conclusion that rather bad things are happening that need to be stopped.
Things
whatever the
beyond our
cost.
old hatreds and old grudges.
Well, I wouldn't say
Let's
beyond
not go too
necessarily.
If Athos is at stake, there's more at work
It's
here.
probably borderline insanity, but I wonder if somehow one of the others could convince her of where her true interests lie. She would never listen to any of us at this point, given what's happened, but there are two she might listen to. Well, no, I doubt she'd listen to your lord. That leaves only Forest Goddess. It's your city. I'll leave the decision to you.
Just like, I don't know what's going on anymore.
I can't believe what's going on.
Well, I'll explain it as concisely as I can.
No, I've heard you. I understand what you're saying. I just.
Those words in that order.
I'm 93 years old.
Yeah.
I didn't think that this would happen ever.
Well, there's a lot of
Believe me, I was
Powerful
no less
forces
shocked.
at
You
work.
know where I'm from and what I lived through. This was not an easy step for me to take, but we call ourselves preservers. Athos dies if this mission fails. I'll take any damned help I can get, no matter who the hell it is. What difference does any of it make if the Dust Kraken awakens and destroys us all?
I have an idea. Please, give me some time.
Of course,
Just remain here.
we're not going anywhere.
very well.
Nanda retires.
The idea is to turn us in.
Yeah. I have a Templar of Hamon.
Brings out a bucket of blue paint.
And some pointy ear
So soon
attachments.
we'll skirt
No
out
worries.
for a while.
I'll confuse her. Splashes blue paint over everyone.
Cunning
Can't arrest us all. I mean, they can.
The perfect crime.
So as we sort of retire off, Kate's gonna pull Antoria aside when he gets a chance. Say, so I've been thinking, I don't know if there's any reality to this at all, but Kashmir said they transported that creature in the Black Falcon specifically, that the boat was constructed to move it.
Mhm.
I mean, I know it's an intelligent creature. I know it can presumably at least curb its desires, its lust for eating a little bit. But is there a reason why they built a boat of obsidian to move the creature? And we have no way to test this. Under no circumstance can we test whether...
It's unfortunate that I know so little of the creature I could answer, but until she gave it a name, I had never heard of such a thing.
Everyone give me a perception check.
22.
Natural 20, natural 20, and a natural 1. Antoria didn't pay attention, but Tanger was sure looking out. Got a 23 on that
Alright.
20.
13.
26.
6.
So Zor, Marcus, and Tanger. Notice that it's kind of quiet. Actually, you're in an area that is sort of the central, like, research area, but seems like people have been, like, sort of just making for the exits. It's getting a little bit quiet. You discover that before too long, you're alone.
We're leaving.
Yeah. Zoinks away.
I'll pull out my weapon.
Oh god. We didn't get set up. I
Get out
was
of
joking.
this-
Wait, what's happening? What's happening?
Be quiet. Marching order, everybody, as we move through the halls.
Ooh.
You stay in the middle. And don't move.
Climbs into Cassie's backpack.
Perfect.
Okay.
Let's throw the backpack in the
You're able to sense magic quickly, yes?
Not like detect magic is a spell.
Yes. Without doing it as a ritual is what he's specifically trying to
Yes, let
find
me
out.
make sure I have it as not.
And it is Antoria, so he can't ask that.
It's ritual possible. I can cast it.
If you can do it quicker than by the...
Detect magic.
Perfect. Lead the way and get us out of here. I'll direct you if necessary. So with directions from Antoria, we're trying to get out of here with her in the lead with detect magic.
Okay.
Yes.
Kate will take flank from her.
Give me an Arcana check, Cassia.
15.
15, that's still good enough. You are able to trace your path back out, during which time you don't see anyone from the Veiled Alliance, and back out into the crematorium, into the marketplace, where you can hear the alarm bell going off.
What is the alarm bell?
Like, what? Yeah, like an air raid siren. No, it's like literally like, yeah, it's like the city guard bell.
Okay.
There's like a timer, people have exclamation points over their head.
we bust out into the crowd, Kate will stay.
How
Okay.
was this the city where it was super dangerous to cast any spells that you just asked me to cast a spell in?
It was, but under the circumstances, Antoria had bigger problems on his mind. He
I
didn't
mean,
want...
you are in the Veiled Alliance
Yeah.
HQ, which
where they
it stands to reason that there's
He
some
was worried
wards
about
down
walking
there.
into a glyph of Circle of Death or something
Yeah.
like
Has
that.
anyone bothered to tell Cassia that she doesn't want an active spell while she's wandering around the city?
You were traveling for half an hour to Raam. I think it's reasonable to think someone would have said something.
I actually think we did go over this at some point.
Yeah.
We were like reviewing the
It
magical
sounds
devices.
familiar, like in character.
Yeah.
So she's going to drop the spell when she's leaving the
Yeah.
Alliance headquarters because she doesn't want to walk around with active magic.
Reasonable.
That's absolutely fair.
We're out of danger now, or at least some danger.
Let's
Anyway,
get out of here!
we go.
Is there any way to perceive what's happening?
Sure. Give me a perception check.
Only we could roll
Natural 20.
16.
There's a lot of shouting. It sounds like the Templars and the guards are doing a sweep of the marketplace.
Yeah, I got a 17.
Okay.
Natural 20? Anything extra?
Nope, nothing extra
Okay.
aside from that.
Let's get out of the marketplace!
Okay.
Sounds reasonable.
So, how are you guys escaping? Are you trying to like just sort of slip through the crowd?
No.
Spells are...
Yeah.
No.
I teleport to the roof.
Yeah.
Who would do that? That would be a really stupid thing to do.
Slipping through the crowd is Cassia's goal.
Okay. Give me.
She's got practice blending in, I'm guessing.
Okay.
Are we trying to stick together or
I think
scattering?
Yeah, relatively sticking together, but while we're moving through, we should come up with a rendezvous point. Remember the area where we entered the city from that side? Is there anything memorable?
Did we enter the city?
Yeah, we didn't enter the city.
Oh, we're not even in the city?
Yeah, we're on the
There's like a
outside.
little hobo encampment outside of Raam.
Yeah.
Oh.
All this is in.
Yeah.
Well, breakpoint's only half a day away. Be there if anything goes wrong.
Yeah,
Yes.
sounds good.
Alright.
So, are you splitting up then, or is it just?
We're gonna try
It's our
That's a
contingency
date.
plan if we get split up.
Okay.
We're not splitting up
Then
yet.
someone needs to give me a stealth check. Other people can try and assist if they like.
Not it.
I'm going to stealth stealth check. I've got +6.
stealth.
Okay.
Stealth to it.
Marcus's plan is just to kind of casual walk.
Yeah, I'll just stick with Marcus.
Okay.
We'll try to look like mercs.
22.
I got a 16 to assist.
I'll assist with the 22 as well.
Okay.
Can me and Marcus just like walk abreast and just sort of like make our way through the crowd quickly with intimidation? Just like trying to push our way through with all the fucking.
I mean, that's different than trying to slip out.
Right, no, I
Might
know.
attract-
So I'm just saying that
Yeah.
the two of us aren't going to stealth out is the thing.
Well, what I'm offering,
Are they allowed? Are they?
what I'm offering is the party can try and make an
Oh, okay.
attempt,
Okay.
and
Okay, then as long as our failure isn't going to contribute.
well, that's I rolled a literal 1 on the part of the guards to try and perceive the suspicious foreigners in their midst.
That bell's really loud, isn't it?
Yeah.
One of those like
We all put on our Assassin's
samurai
Creed
banners
robes
that
and we
has a
just...
lion on it on my back.
Oh,
I-
I found a bale of hay.
I-
I fell in it.
Yeah,
and
I
everything
know.
is-
I think at this point, like, a Templar, like, goes, "There, I found him!" And, like, pulls the guy around, and it's just, like, his twin brother, who is also a Templar. Or something. And as such, you guys are able to very easily slip back out and continue down the road well before any such perimeter has been established or anything like that.
Well,
Were we...
Are
Looks
we done
pretty badly
here?
like we were betrayed by another failed alliance. I don't want to be the one to
It's-
say it.
possible they were
Considering-
detected. It's possible they were detected.
They didn't tell
Yes,
us.
it was possible they were detected and then flooded their ranks without telling us.
Yeah, no, that looks bad. I'm gonna...
Maybe
Let's
they were
go.
sleepy.
I don't think that they expressly sold us out or that we were betrayed, but I do believe that they held us in no regard whenever they flooded their ranks from their garrison.
We're done here.
Yeah, I don't like these guys.
To breakpoint.
To Breakpoint.
Let's go. We'll
Oh,
reconvene.
Breaking Point. That's kind of where you are with the Failed Alliance, isn't it?
3 jokes in as many days. What a delight!
Rolled a 17 to keep his temper. He's okay.
Oh, that was just too easy. Sorry.
Let's go.
So,
From there, we'll figure out what's going on with you and Yorick.
agreed.
But let's get back, not hang out on these roads.
Agreed.
Onward! He's sitting on the back of Marcus's.
Yeah.
It's not doing anything.
Marcus will take.
Ow!
Not him.
Deal 2d6 plus 18 damage.
The rest of the journey is uneventful, and you arrive back in the sleepy merchant town. Tiberius is, of course, drunk.
Good.
Hey.
It's good.
Marcus will join him.
You're now drunk.
Alright.
Kane will just sit down.
You're sitting now.
Alright,
Casimir sits down. Whew! Well.
Exciting day?
So,
That's wrapped up. I take it.
your journey to Yorick.
Indeed. You know. No, I still want to go.
If you can
Yes, because of that reason. Which was that...
I hope you're just winking a lot.
Are you asking me to say it, or are you going to say
No,
it?
Cashmere's trying to
Cashmere.
Oh,
yeah,
I thought this
Cashmere.
was-
I'm being charming
Yeah, he's using his
and subtle.
persuasion on you.
If you must know, my mother is dying. I want
Oh.
to see her. That I remember, have never seen her in my life, although I seem to think I probably have, since I remember some strange... Actually, that's something I want to ask you.
Hello.
You're familiar with music to some degree, yes?
Yes, that's kind of my
Can
thing.
Antoria try replicating the song he heard a snatch of from the...
Boro.
Who?
Boro.
Boro.
Yeah.
From Boro, in hopes that she can recognize what the song actually is.
Absolutely.
Oh, yeah.
Right? Antoria
Give me a performance check.
kind of concentrates for a bit.
Oh
Do
my
you
God.
want inspiration
Comment, yes.
on this? I will give you inspiration.
Really?
if you want.
Alright, I'll take inspiration. I need it.
Yeah.
There's probably a lot to go around at this point.
I
I
actually,
gave up my inspiration. I haven't earned any back.
Alright.
last time I had to give a point out. So.
I only heard part of it, and I'm not much of a musician, but I'll do my best. And concentrating for a moment, he starts to hum.
It's
He
gonna-
rolls a natural 20.
Okay,
What?
It's going to be a basic 4-chord progression.
Incredible.
So it's-
Well, of course.
That's literally every folk song created from now since the
Well,
beginning of
I don't know if they'd invented the fourth chord by then.
Okay,
Yeah.
this is only,
Yeah.
oh man, it's 3.
Yeah.
That's kryptonite. Yeah.
Yes, you're as a student of song, and particularly as someone that has spent some time in Uruk in their life, you're easily able to identify it as a old hymn from that region.
This is an old hymn from that region, from Uruk.
A hymn. So
But
I guess a hymn
I'm
would be
familiar
like a
with it.
religious to Hamanu.
Oh, believe me, all songs
Every
from
song.
Uruk are religious to
But this is a
Hamanu.
hymn. It's like even more so, right?
I mean,
Or is all
Reference to
songs
the
are-
Great Lion,
Yeah,
yes.
Do you know the rest of it?
Yeah, of course.
absolutely.
Absolutely.
Not to put you on the spot to write its entire hymn if you didn't already have it.
boy.
Here,
You already have it. That's awesome.
of
but-
course.
I should have brought my uke, but...
Joy to the world, Hamanu's here.
That's the whole song.
That's it. That's the whole
You
thing.
just say that again and again and again.
Lord Hamanu's really neat. Lord Hamanu's full of meat. We all love you, Lord.
Oh my God, you are gonna get smote.
Or he's not.
Oh no.
Yes, you don't necessarily know the words, but you're very familiar with the melody. And with your, stringed instrument, which you always have on hand.
I'm gonna have to start bringing that every time.
We have the guitar still.
That's true.
Yeah, I don't know any guitar chords. I literally studied the
You can
ukulele.
figure out how hard is it.
I s-
Marcus falls asleep.
Good night.
Kegel
So
hum along because I would
Of course.
if he knows this as well.
Is he actually performing this just
Yes.
to check? Okay.
Yeah.
Does hearing this stir any memories, perhaps?
Absolutely.
Oh, awesome.
Yeah. You begin to get sort of an idea of her face. It's gentle. She's got blue eyes. She has long blonde hair. There's another figure behind her that you can't quite make out. It's shadowy. Whether that's like a legitimate, like you were born, like there's a shadow monster in the room. Or just because it's like a hazy memory. But you remember someone else being there. You're not quite sure who.
Stray off.
Yeah, no, it's Dragoth.
With all the shadowy.
Yeah, of course.
He continues listening to the song.
Yeah, yeah.
Drag anything else out of his memory he can.
And of course, if Cassie is playing like a beautiful song, like the entire like tavern you guys are hanging out with, just hushes down. Tiberius is well familiar with the beauty of your music, so is really appreciative. Even Casimir is shut the fuck up for once.
You should play more
So,
miracles!
would Kate know the words since she didn't as someone who grew up in the religious order?
Yes, absolutely.
He's not a performer, but he'll sort of like at least talk.
Yeah, absolutely. That makes
help.
sense.
I'll do a performance check, I guess.
Go for it.
No
Actually,
pressure for that one.
if you want, you could give me a religion check instead.
I think they are equal,
Oh.
strangely enough. No, religion's slightly
We
better.
don't need to choose, really.
Natural 20.
Natural 20!
This is Kate's favorite hymn,
Of course.
and he studied it inside and out.
Well, great. You
He'll
can play it at your and Antoria's
He
wedding.
won't, he won't like stand up or anything because he's not a performer, but he'll actually have a pretty good sense of how to sing this song.
Of course.
Just sing along.
Definitely heard this before. Anything else come, or is that about what we got for now?
That's about what you got for right now, yeah.
I remember-
But as opposed to before, this seems to trigger like a legitimate memory, rather than just like a hazy recollection.
I definitely remember a little more now. I remember her face. It's more than I had before. Thank you. Thank you, both of you.
I'm glad to help however I can.
Absolutely.
Well,
So we're just kind of elbows Marcus a bit.
Knocks over the dick.
the general gist of the hymn, if that's not an annoying question to ask.
Sorry?
What is the general theme of the hymn? I mean,
Sure,
just
no.
literally Hamanu is awesome.
No, it's nothing so crass as that. but it is a reference to the fact that the world is terrible and that it is.
I love it. My favorite kind
Of course. Well, a bringer of light and truth and justice is only truly appreciable in a place that so desperately needs it. And so the hymn generally says that the world is very dangerous and is hard, and that the things that make you truly thankful are few and far between. Thank you, Homanu, so much for having given us the wonderful life that you have given us. That sort of thing.
Well,
maybe I'll write some words for next time.
fair enough. I feel like I might have a better chance of finding her now that I remember what she looks like a little better and know the song that was being sung. Yes, I think I still need to go. I know it's dangerous, I don't deny that. It's definitely a risk, but
You have to do what's right for you.
I can't get it out of my mind. The only thing that gave me peace was knowing that I was going to go there as soon as possible. If I put it aside again, I'll just start losing myself again as I'd already started to. I'll take care of it as quickly as possible. It may be even quicker than we hoped. Just to clarify though, wait,
Yes.
reviewing the record. Did we say you guys are taking the ship to Draj?
That's what it sounded like.
Yeah.
Okay, then I
It
guess...
actually may make more sense for Antoria to take the ship to Draj. Again,
He can't sail it alone, can he?
Two people alone might be...
I mean, you can potentially hire crew or something in this port that we're in.
Sure.
But just as far as timeliness, it may make more sense. And again,
Yes.
on the Facebook group, Kate spent the last 4 sessions working on this specific problem.
Yep.
So it may make more sense for us to ride to Draj, you to return, and Tiberius to take you to so that. Because otherwise, we'd be waiting on you to ride in, and it would make more sense. Is that?
That absolutely, that makes a ton of sense.
Yeah. So
absolutely.
I get it. So let's rewind the tape, but that's the plan.
Okay. Yeah.
So we'll leave Tiberius with some money if he wants it to scare up some crew.
Yep. That makes
The rest
sense.
of us will ride to Draj. And
Okay.
when he gets back, he'll take the ship to Draj and meet us there.
Everyone is on board with this plan.
One quick question. Is a silk ship faster than a bird that can fly 80 feet or move action? Sorry, it's probably one of those annoying Herbie questions.
Yeah,
Sure
that's
is.
Well, but that would be a straight line, right? And wouldn't have to worry about
True, the bird would
navigation.
also be a straight line, and it can be maintained for
As the Tangier
1, 2,
flies,
3, 4,
say.
5 for 6 hours a day. Which I guess the silk ship is.
yeah. It was absolutely not faster than that.
I didn't know how long this. I didn't know. Like, I knew the silk ship would presumably stop when the crew has to sleep, right? Because it's not like a sailing vessel. Someone has to be doing things.
Well, it depends on how you've arranged your ship. If
I
you've
guess-
only got a certain number of people, then you cycle them out.
Okay, so yeah, so okay, never mind.
Yeah.
If it's much faster, then don't worry about
Yeah.
it.
I mean, you can take the super speedy bird to the ship.
Yeah, I
again,
definitely
so-
will probably do that.
Yeah.
Because I know 80's faster than mounts, but okay, cool. And I think that's the plan by the sound of things.
Very well. Then, how are you preparing to make your departure?
Excellent question.
Kate will sort of fussily review all the
Of course.
remember
How much food do you have?
yeah, you're packing underwear, right? No, more like I was I can't guarantee you anything as far as my contacts, but if you're looking for safe spaces and you'd be like blah blah blah, I have this contact with House Stell, you can potentially present yourself there. I've made contact with I don't remember that noble house's name, a minor noble house. They'll be like they're located off of blah blah blah,
Alright.
And Zora's gonna see Antoria before he leaves too.
Alright, well the preparations I want to make of my own is definitely taking enough food for the trip back and stuff and water and whatnot.
Sure.
Also taking an extra amount that's approximately another 2/3 of that. The plan being on the way to Uric, well outside the city, he's going to cache some of it in a hidden spot so that if he has to flee as a giant bird and leave his mount behind, he's not totally screwed.
That's fair. So, what magical items or artifacts of note do you have on your person?
That is definitely the next item up for question.
Yes.
So the Ouija board is gone.
Yes.
Because that was sold to the Trader Alliance. Sorry, we don't know that yet. We just kind of think it. The Withered Hand, unless anyone objects, is being left with the party, specifically Cassia.
What is this with her hand?
It's awesome. Do you want to hear all about it?
It's so good.
Zora wants to just.
So first
Oh,
of
it's that one. I out of character. I know what that is. Can you
Okay.
explain what it is to Cassia in character then?
Well,
She will want.
yes.
She will either.
Yes.
Hear it from
She
you or
will,
she'll
but,
figure
but
it
we
out.
can fast forward through
Yeah,
that.
all right. He does, but we fast forward through.
Yes.
Okay,
Yeah.
so that's temporarily.
Ugh, gross.
The crown of the Dust Kraken is also passed into the custody of the party.
Uh-huh. Who specifically is holding that?
That's such a good question.
Yeah, I want to know.
Zora's just got it on. And he's
What? I can't hear you around my giant mask that I have.
Yeah, I want to know who's holding all this stuff.
Okay, well, Cassia for the Withered Hand, and unless someone objects, the crown of the Dust Kraken as well. She's the best equipped to handle these things in my absence.
Little buddy, sorry.
Kate trusts Antoria implicitly.
I mean, she's the best at carrying the most amount of physical objects. So.
Indeed.
Yeah. That's her one thing. It's high equipment load.
Yeah.
You actually,
Well, I literally have been carrying around Cashmere for like
Yeah,
days
that's
since he
true.
hides in my pack with little buddies. So
My legs are cramped.
goes through his stuff, pulls out a pile of papers, oddly enough, that haven't been seen in a while.
Yeah.
Says, Yarnith, when we first met him, possessed these. We never actually had a chance to study them.
no, I like studying.
They
things.
seem to be notes that Ghost Vipers, his bandits, had gathered on various houses.
Oh,
I'm sure you'll find something interesting in them. But they're literacy, and I don't want to carry them where I'm going.
Literally.
Takes out a piece of paper, a small scroll that he seems to be holding at arm's length. It's the one that had the glyph on it.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm pretty sure it's this one.
Let's look inside and check.
This is a map, though. Oh, I guess
No, this is the map.
Oh.
I've had this shit for 2 years. I know what it is.
Fair enough. Well, it looks like
is that a cognitive hazard? What is that?
It is literally a cognitive
Why do you
hazard.
have a cognitive hazard?
Where would you suggest I leave it?
Buried? Deep?
For someone
Did
else
the
to find
Silt
and
see?
become the next incarnation of Yarnith.
That's what this does?
That's what it did to me.
Seems a moot point.
Can
Why don't we burn this?
burn it? No, you don't just burn art.
Why not just drop it out of a plane?
What?
What?
Okay, I will.
You already said
I
it's
will
difficult to get to other
watch
planes.
that,
Yeah.
knowing exactly what it is and exactly how to care for it, because Cassie has practice in this shit.
Who would find this thing at the bottom of the Silt Sea?
For now, let's store it.
No, yeah.
We'll deal with this at a
I
later
will say-
point.
You can't contain.
Once
it
I
at the
was
bottom of the
once
salt
I
sea.
was infected and looked at it, it was blank. I don't know what it looks like now because I plan to never see it again.
And then Casimir's just
I
got
like the way you think.
Good.
Correctly.
And then Casimir's
That's
just had
good.
it open. He's like, why are you guys arguing so much about this thing?
Takes out the vial of really terrible poison that I've tried twice to sell this. No one will buy it because they know Wheelock's reputation.
I'll take it.
Yeah.
Please be very
I'll
clear.
remember my father.
Yeah,
Ow!
seriously. That's like the epic reward for that quest line. Is
And
that
I just
poison?
throw it into somebody that I hate.
Just don't get it on yourself.
It's like a one-shot
I'll
use
try
kill,
not to
kill
kill
quest
them all.
NPC.
It was in my pocket. It broke.
Pockets are illegal.
Shit.
This is why.
Antoria goes through the rest of his things. So the only magic items he's keeping so far are spellbooks directly magical, or are they just
They're not directly
Not
magical.
directly magical. Then the only
Not unless you like ward them or something.
right.
Or if they like literally look.
So he has a few.
Spell book.
Yeah, he still has a few potions. He
Do
still
not read.
He still has a few potions. He still has the feather token. He still has his bracers of defense.
Yep.
He still has his cloak, and of course the awesome ring and the awesome dagger.
Who's got the mask?
Yeah, actually, if I might,
Ah.
before you hand that out to the party and we carry all those things, might it be wiser to split them apart?
Everyone split apart up to now. And again, she is by far the most qualified of those who remain to care for these things.
Antoria can't carry them into Yorick.
But let's say Yarnath finds him or Yarnath finds us, and the worst case happens, he doesn't get everything in one go.
Well,
But
If
it's
you
some
wanna-
of it and he's stronger to take the
if
rest.
Yarnath finds Antoria when he's alone, then Antoria is either escaped or dead, and the things are in Yarnath's possession. But Antoria can't carry those artifacts into Yorick. He'll be
Fair
drawn
enough.
and quartered in the street.
Speaking of Uric, since I'm from there, what do I know about their magic detection and/or anti-magic defenses?
So this is actually that Kane would have gone over this.
Yeah,
No, absolutely.
Well, I assume between the two of us, what do we know about how they operate there?
So they are better about like precision detect magic, but it's not as ambient on as it is in Raam. It's more like a specific strike team goes in and then activates their stuff, and they're a lot more educated in terms of like what wizards are capable of, and so they're better able to like scope out the perimeter and then make tactical decisions about how to go in.
Okay, so carrying like a few magic items in normal sorts into Uric is not necessarily dangerous because there's not a massive detection grid.
That's correct, yes.
But if you cast spells, you can expect a pretty heavy response that's probably going to be pretty nasty by the sound of it.
Immediately 5 stars.
Well, more to the point, you know those areas in Assassin's Creed where like the guards are on alert and they're patrolling?
I never played Assassin's Creed.
I don't blame you, it's not very good. So think of it more like they're not going to find you out for just walking in with magical items, but there are patrols that are going up and down the streets periodically looking for folks that may be carrying contraband.
Okay.
Whether or not they have detect magic going on or not depends on the general state of things.
I see.
Granted, the Veiled Alliance has been regarded as recently wiped out, so they might not be as on high alert.
I see. Alright. Well, he will reluctantly, after some thought, keep the rest of his things with him, mostly because he thinks they will give him a good chance of getting away, even if he is detected.
Are you keeping the mask then?
No, not the mask. The mask, sorry, I forgot about that. The mask you
I'll
will
take the
also
mask.
pass to the party. In the form of Cassio specifically.
That's fair.
The mask and the crown go together well.
Yeah.
Getting a little set.
Actually, no, yeah, can I wear both of those at the same time, or is it one per head slot?
It's one per head slot.
You can only raise the dead or raise the dust kraken, not both.
What if you were a
What if
two-headed
it's a
giant?
dead dust kraken? Which one do I need?
What?
What if the dust kraken is dead? Which one do I need?
If the Dust Kraken is dead, then the credits roll. And
No!
if you do it early enough, you get the programmer room. It's
Alright.
too late.
We're well past
Yeah.
this.
You're gonna get the Reptide ending now.
Oh no! I hate that one.
Yeah, it sucks.
Going over my list one more time to make sure I don't have anything else that's particularly...
Zorak, what did you want to say to him?
Oh.
Yeah, Zorak was gonna go to Antoria, maybe a little privately to the side, and be like, in your stead, I realize you must go, you must tend to your birth's pledge mates, and it's very important to you. Who is to lead us?
Ooh, good question.
I mean,
Why is this even a question? She doesn't know where her house is.
no! I know where we're going. Cassie's actually far more well-traveled.
Zoro, I'd
than
a
people
little more
think.
be like, so far I've deferred to your judgment, and I believe you have been an adequate leader.
In my hopefully brief absence, follow Cade. I know he is short-tempered and a bit rash at times,
A
but
loud one, yes.
I'm going to die.
Yeah. Goodbye, everyone.
he will keep focused on the mission, and that's the important thing here.
I also have one thing I wish to give you, and he takes off the necklace, gives it to you, and if you wear this, it should keep you alive in the worst of circumstances.
This is the one with the vial of elemental water.
No, this is actually his, he's giving up his parapet of wound closure.
Oh, excellent. Well, dang.
Quick identify spell on it to
Yeah.
confirm it. I think I remember.
Wait, where are we?
We're in Bridgeport.
Oh, that's
Oh, okay.
Yeah, we're
okay,
in
we're
town.
Yeah.
Okay,
Okay,
if we're actually
okay.
in town, forget that. Then not
Okay.
right now.
Trader
Sorry.
town. No,
No, it's an item that he had in his possession, so you're...
Party identified.
Yeah,
Oh,
absolutely.
okay. If it's
Yeah.
already identified, then I know
Yeah.
it is.
You stabilize at the start of a turn if you go below 0 HP, and then when you rest, you double your HP.
This could come in handy. Thank you. I will hope to return it to you shortly.
I will not be there to heal you, but perhaps this can help in my stead.
I hope so, but I hope more that I don't need it. Thank you. Is there anything else?
No, I suppose we should escort you out, and then you'll be on your way.
Okay, and I guess did we already cover that I'm buying a mount to get there and all that kind of stuff?
You've still got the mount from when you guys first got here, so you can basically just continue on with that.
Okay, so just to review, plan A is get there with the mount, stopping a little bit outside of town to cache the extra food and water.
So you're going to Uruk. Are you going by way of Raam?
I guess that is a good question. Where's breakpoint water thingy?
Here, he said before.
Yeah.
He's just gonna fly
Oh, I
over
see.
to Manu's towers.
So I guess this would be the easiest travel, but that would be dangerous. But
If you're going to go by road, you have to go by Raam.
Oh, I can't go around this.
I guess
The Great Road. That's a few days.
right by the dragon.
I mean, you could travel along the shore to that road, yes, but you're going to be traveling across some non-road before you get to it.
Ah, I see. It's
For
not
at least a couple of days.
It's not necessarily road just because it's red on the map.
No. So on that map, the town that you're in is like right at the tip of that mountain range.
Here?
Nope. There, yeah.
Oh,
I see.
Yeah.
How long a trip by mount is this trek across this?
That's going to be like 5 days.
Oof.
It's like
Well, we could take the boat out a little bit further, at least there.
You're not going to be able to dock over there without a port.
Not without docking though.
Okay.
He has spells.
Wait. I could polymorph the mount into a bird.
Fly to the Mordor.
Wouldn't it go literally
And drop the
crazy?
ring.
Probably would.
Okay.
Wait, I could dimension door it off the boat.
That's
That's
what I'm
probably go
saying.
crazy.
That's what
No,
I'm
it's
saying.
I think we figured out the plan.
Alright.
Okay.
You just need to figure out the route.
Yes.
But I'll tell you what, we'll just go ahead and say that you're going to leave,
Yes.
and we'll figure out the mechanics of where and specifically how you're going at a time later.
Okay.
Yeah.
Cool.
Fair.
Kate will want to walk Antoria out like the
Yeah, do you guys have anything to say to Antoria before he jets off?
Yeah, Kate does at least. We'll just like once you're mounted up and stuff, we'll just be like, Antoria, I know that you're very capable, so I trust that you're going to be safe on this journey. But you're important to this cause, and you're my only friend. So I expect you back safely.
I will endeavor to do so.
And I'll touch his forehead and say, "Lion, guide your step." I'll cast bless on him. It doesn't matter because that lasts a minute. But just in terms of character, he'll bless him.
That's fair.
Thank you.
He'll step back. Be like, "Best of luck to you."
Remember, it's not like I'll be completely away. You'll hear from me time to time.
I know. I'll see you in Drodge as well.
And Drudge, then.
Kiss. Oh, sorry.
Kate starts to kiss him. Zork butts in, and don't forget my water.
Ooh, awkward.
Zoro, bless this union.
I know. We have someone to marry us, and a hymn to play, and you could be the ring bearer.
I want to throw the flowers.
Should have brought Jared.
Fair enough. I mean,
Okay.
it's just the hilt of the basket sitting at the end of the aisle, and everyone's just waiting.
I would think little buddy will help out carry this.
Oh,
Like, I don't want to like break it to him, but you're real bad for this job.
I'm bad for all jobs. This economy sucks. All right.
Alright. So,
Marcus, are you saying anything?
Mark is pretty drunk, but
I'm real fucked up right now.
he'll just like kind of, misinterpreting his own strength, just like slap you on the back and be like,
He hit so hard it turned.
get back to drinking.
Thank you.
Zoro will keep it short and simple. He said, be well, be safe, come back to us, and lead us to greater things. And actually, since we're all here, Zoro will bless us all with his, extra temporary HP, which will last a day. 15 HP.
I feel so vigorous.
Yes, even you will get it.
I thought it was 16.
No, it's 15.
You've been cheating.
It goes in 5.
That's how you survive the turn.
I had
That's
16
true.
written down before.
That might have been
love
Marvis. I think
those.
Marvis was in 3s or something.
But it's been a while since. Yeah, anyways.
Yeah.
I was cheating.
Cassie, are you going to say anything?
Yeah, she is going to say that she's very glad that we've had a chance to meet, and I look forward to being able to see you again. She'll say some inspiring words to give you a bardic inspiration if anything comes up in the next 10 minutes.
Guys, you're fucking.
You're fucking loaded.
Seriously.
If anything goes wrong in the next
Everyone's
45
devaluing
You are awesome.
What you should do is you should check the general chat channel to see if any of the elites are up.
Yeah.
To see if you can just solo it for some quick XP.
The dragon's just gonna fly in it.
Well, actually, I was actually thinking maybe it's like Draken. One of the constellations will come to light like 5 seconds outside of town, just boom, boom.
Instead, you just go right to Raam and go fight Balic. Like, I got this.
Cool. Well. No! I've just met you. Good luck!
Actually,
wow, that's so temperate of him.
As far as messaging back and forth, I'm able to message quite freely. As the days go on, would that be dangerous in Europe? For you to receive?
Might be a little surprising at the wrong time.
Receiving is illegal.
I would advise against
How long will it take to get to Europe by mount, assuming nothing goes wrong and assuming we take a semi-reasonable path?
Just shy of a week.
Just shy of a week. For the first 8 days or so,
Okay.
no problem.
We should keep in some measure of touch then between us to...
Of course. Though I should note, after 8 days, don't necessarily be alarmed if you don't hear anything. It just means...
Well, yeah, I'm not just gonna... Hey, how's it
Just
going,
wanted to
buddy?
be clear on that point.
Very well. Then you set off, presumably, on your journey. And do you guys have any other duties or particular work to do?
We should set a time that would be most likely for me to want to contact you, so you'd be able to expect it a little bit.
Well, I mean, while he's
I think
traveling, it's not a big
he's
deal.
gonna message back once he gets back.
Yeah.
You know.
And are you guys setting off for Draj
Yeah,
without
so
too much
we'll
wait?
We'll go back into the city, make sure we're supplied and all that, and then set up for drunk.
Very well.
Marcus
The-
doesn't like to drive drunk, but given the circumstances,
Yeah.
Oh, I'm fine this once.
You don't
I'm
like to
fine to
rudder
ride.
drunk. You don't like to rudder drunk, because that was your job, right? So rudder.
I'll drive!
No, he was the sales
Never
guy,
touch
wasn't
this
he?
stuff!
No, he was the rudder guy.
Oh.
Yeah.
Pours a glass of wine over his helmet.
Oh, you were that?
Yeah.
Yeah, because I remember I telekinetically helped out a couple of times and
we
asked
already
the other
know
which
it's
one.
on fire.
Yeah.
It was-
Very well. Then, at long last, the party is split.
Finally got rid of Antoria.
And it wasn't Boromir's fault for once.
Good game.
Good game.
Terrific. Gosh, what a lot of fun. Welcome to 2017, everyone. What?
So do work, everyone.
Yes.
So are you guys gonna have a private session, or are we gonna do split session?
I don't know. We'll work it out, but whatever we do, you can be sure that we'll be streaming it right here on twitch.com.
Follow us on Twitter for live updates.
Oh,
Sure.
It's just that Antoria's dead. We're already doing that. You just want to do the character.
Please. Let's not be farcical. Nothing can kill Antoria.
Right.
Yeah, it's hard to kill a lich.
Yes.
I'll be back.
And I just gave him a magical thing that will keep him from dying.
Yeah,
Excellent.
We really just need more
The resting benefit, is good. I'm not sure once I'm at 0 hit points, not unstabilizing is going to help me a whole lot.
Yeah.
Well, we'll see.
This corpse isn't dying.
Maybe they'll just leave you for dead.
Maybe if you fall off a
Maybe.
cliff or something.
Yeah.
We will see.
God, that's a great idea. You just crater, and then like no one could have survived that.
Well, I guess that featherfall would ruin the no one can survive that thing.
Yeah, you just basically tank all the damage and let the thing heal you back to one.
I don't know, I'd rather featherfall and leave them with the problem of how to get down a cliff really fast.
Don't you still have a contingency, like, duplicate waiting around for you?
No, I don't have a clone yet, no. I
Okay.
have contingency for a certain situation, but it's
Yeah.
not like resurrect or anything.
That's right.
It's dispel magic, right?
Yeah, it's dispel magic or
You're
something.
unable to act or whatever.
Yeah.
That's it.
If he's unable to act due to something dispel magic theoretically can get rid of, it'll attempt it.
Good deal. Well, thank you guys so much for playing. Thank you guys for tuning in and hanging out with us. We'll be back on Thursday with some more Eldritch Order. So I hope you join us for that. Have a wonderful evening. See you next time.
Bye, stream.
Bye.